Hello, welcome back to SARS Football Corner. Welcome back to another live stream, another show, another video on the channel. Big ups to everybody is tuned in. That's an early. Big ups to everybody is watching the replay. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Big ups to everybody is tuned in nice and early. Listen, we're here for another episode of the Koora Pod. We're here to speak about Arteta. We're here to speak about the PSG game. We're here to speak about it all. Arsenal going trophyless again. We're going to be speaking about I don't know. We'll get to Man United and Spurs. I don't really know if it's really a conversation to have, but mainly we're going to be speaking about the PSG thing, and we're going to be speaking about Arteta, the whole situation, where we go forward, how we go forward, and we'll be previewing the weekend's games because obviously we have to do that. In reality, the season's over, but we'll preview the weekend's games, of course, because we have to keep the consistency up. But listen, big up to everybody, man. Big up to everybody.
Especially to one person, to Lutfan, who says, my Muslim fans, my Muslim brothers will get this. Arteta, son of Dajjal. Arteta, son of Yajuj Majuj. Arteta, son of Fir'aun. Like Arteta, son of Abu Lahab.
Yeah, man.
You're a G for that, bro. He's like Arteta, son of Abu Jahl. Oh my God.
Listen.
For those who don't know who these people are, Muslims who don't know who these people are, go do your Islamic studies properly.
And he said, "Sorry, Sada, I'm emotional. Listen, Lutfan, this is a place for you to get it all out, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's a place for you to get it all out, bro. I want to say I don't want to say big up. I don't want to say big up to this guy, but big up to this guy anyway. Saying why are Sammy and Ashraf in blue moving like Power Rangers? And he said he followed up with some stupidness.
Why are you hiding?
But he earns 15 million. Oh, I have a flight. I'm flying home.
He's a lie, bro. He's hiding.
Yeah,
because he knows he'd get cooked. He knows if he joins, we'd wipe the floor with him, right? And everyone in the comments would agree. Even the Arteta fans would agree. But yeah, it's okay. He avoided the smoke, so it's fine.
Listen,
if you
have a safe flight. Have a safe flight, of course. Listen, let's get straight into it. Let's get into PSG. Ash has something on his chest that he needs to get off there. So obviously, let's just get into it straight away.
Go ahead. Look, I don't do this often. I never like to say I told you so or shit like that. But I was sitting a week ago, and this fraud next to me, right? But by the way, why are you next to me? You know, go down. Let Sami be above, because you spoke a lot of garbage. Yeah, this is what you said before Madrid as well. You're so negative. I think we will go through. Saad, what's your logic? Because Party is back, and we will obviously be playing on the front foot, and we will attack. Bro, shut up.
It was actually good logic if you look back at it. It was actually good logic. But anyway.
And here's someone else to back me as well. Big up Mr. TKA.
Yeah, how about putting in the freaking thing? Yeah. This is why he can't be a proper host, bro. This guy is.
I did it.
This guy don't know how to handle everything, bro.
Right.
I mean, it's too quick.
Right.
Him,
and
bro.
T and I told you. Yeah, but if we attack, what does that mean for PSG? It means they'll have more spaces to counter, and Lord behold, they actually did, and they ended up winning the game. Big up, T, my brother.
Big up, T.
How's my mic? I'm not home right now, and I'm using something else. How do I sound?
It's terrible, bro.
Yeah,
I'll be real with you, T. It's nuts. It's like it's crackling, bro. It's like it's crackling.
There's a lot of feedback, so when you're speaking, we're hearing like that.
Yeah. It sounds like
you're underwater or something.
1 second.
Yeah. It's more like the headphones or the mic. Yeah. It's more like the headphones or the mic. It's not the connection.
Okay, he just left. Listen, I understand what you're saying to a certain degree. But I think these were things to give me confidence, and they did. In my person, no, just leave it because he'll come back. So let's just leave it as 4 in it, and then once he comes back, he just comes straight in. The thing is, for me, yeah, when I looked at it, moving Marino back to the front end of the pitch, moving getting Partey in that DM position and moving Rice to the left 8, bro. For me, the reasoning was look at how we played with them in that positions against the Real Madrids, against these other teams. So I can understand you saying, "Oh, well, you got it wrong and this and that." But before the game, I'm thinking the only thing that was missing from the other game, yeah, and even then we were still able to create chances, is people being in the midfield and our team being a bit more balanced. Our team is a bit more balanced with it, but the only thing that doesn't help me in this argument is that Party was at fault for one of the goals, and do you know what I mean? At this
But
point,
that's the thing, Todd.
partially, but listen, man, it just
You did not take
it's
into
brought up
account,
that
Todd.
game.
You did
It
not
was
take into
worse
account
for
the
me because I actually truly I was not even waffling. It wasn't even copium. I truly believed,
was.
like, it wasn't even no, wallah, it wasn't copium. I truly believed that we would win. Like,
Yeah, no, I
because
know, I know that.
the facts that I stated, that gave me belief that we would win. But
Bro, I know you really believed that. I'm not saying you didn't. I know you genuinely, which by the way makes it worse. But I'm saying everything you're saying, while it's true, Partey being back is better for our midfield. Moreno playing up top is better for our attack. But you did not take into account the opposition. You spoke about all the things that could go right for us. You never spoke about all the things that could go right for PSG, given the team they have, given that they're playing at home, given that they have a 1-goal advantage. I didn't watch the second half, but I saw the stat. Dembele got an assist to Hakimi. So
this
like
man didn't
they
even get
had
lost second half.
Wallah, I did.
as soon as Fabio Ruiz scored, يلا صافي
done. No, I
سدوا
finished the first half.
سد تليفون يلا صافي الناس.
Yeah. Honestly, because bro, I did this.
Yo,
I
how do I
had
sound?
work the next day.
Much better.
Much better, T. Much better.
Okay.
I had work the next day, and this for me it's like at 12:30 a.m. So I'm like, man, do I really sit and watch the entire game, knowing we're probably gonna get out and affect my day at work? I did it with Barca Inter, but that was worth it. That game was worth staying up late for, and I slept at 2:30 or 3 a.m. that night, right? And I had to wake up in 4 hours, so I didn't want to.
He was still happy when he woke up, bro. He was still happy when he woke up, bro, because that was a mad game, bro. Now I felt hyped up for that game, bro. That hyped me up because I was like, oh my god, that's one of the best games I've ever seen. But then obviously then it came to the realization that we might lose today, and then you know what I mean?
You know what that game proved? That me and Sammy are correct. You know what I'm saying? You guys underestimate us when we said Inzaghi and Inter's play style. He said, "Oh, but Barcelona has this, Barcelona has that." Yeah, they did nothing, bro. There you are. There you
Why
are.
am I not? Hold on. Why Why am I not getting included in that?
Okay. My gun is mostly aimed at Ashraf because he said, "No, Barcelona."
There you are, bro.
Yes,
Aim it
yes.
at him, not me, bro.
No, bro.
I said 3-2.
correctly.
You know what it is? Inzaghi is the
You
type
said they
of
did
guy.
nothing.
Inzaghi, and I told you, I said Inzaghi is the type of guy that just counters the opposition. He doesn't have a system that his system or no other way. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't move like that. He literally looks at his opposition and just plays against their style of play. You know what I'm saying? And he played them perfectly.
T.
Yes, he conceded a
They
lot of
were
goals.
lucky, T.
They still won. And in the Champions League, you need
Yeah,
luck
I
to
know,
go
but
through,
they didn't
brother.
win. I don't think they won because he had a mastermind of a game. I actually think
Scoring
whatever
7
he
goals.
did that
Not
game.
lucky.
Listen,
No, I'm saying whatever he
okay,
did
but
almost
you don't
cost
understand.
them because they
You
should
don't
have lost
understand.
that game.
This guy did it with Mkhitaryan, with Darmian, with Acerbi scoring. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's a big, because the whole argument that people use for Arsenal has a worse team than PSG. We can say the same about Inter and Barca. And what did they do? They actually went out and beat them because they have a smart manager that knows what to do. You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple.
Agreed.
I will admit one thing to you. I'll say this. I am happy to have Inzaghi as manager only if he can play with our formation. I don't want us to play a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2 because I don't think our players can adapt to that. If he can use those tactics,
look at this fraud.
If he can use those tactics. By the way, but I'm not saying something crazy. He's a good manager, right? And he is a good manager. Why can't he do the exact same things with a 4-3-3?
Yeah.
What's the problem?
But why? You know what it is, Ashraf? I feel like first of all, if that happens, yeah, I think the Kroenkes won't do that. I think the Kroenkes, if they bring him in, they will actually fully back him like they did Arteta, and they will actually give him what he wants. And at the end of the day, he will play his own play style. So I feel like we are that kind of club that just wants to see our manager for here for 5 or 10 years, unless your name is Unai Emery. You know what I'm saying? but he can hold that still. You know what I'm saying? But you know what we do? We like to keep our managers forever, and I feel like if we want to do that, we need to give them what they want, and Inzaghi will get what he wants if he comes to Arsenal. You know what I'm saying?
He's a good manager for sure. I still think they got lucky because obviously Barca did an amazing comeback. They were winning 3-2. I still feel that last goal that Acerbi scored, I think that was a foul by Dumfries on Martin because he did clip him in the foot, but it is what it is. Like Martin should have still cleared it before that. The reason I say Inzaghi almost cost them, because if it wasn't for that stupid mistake at that time, they would have lost 3-2. They were only 2 minutes. I don't know why he opened up the pitch so much. The one thing everyone praises Inter Milan for is that, it's amazing low block, the way they defend. And they did that against Bayern and against, I can't remember who else. For whatever reason, against Barcelona in that second game, he decided to go like open game, attack for attack, and it almost cost him. But hey, look, he's in the final. I don't know if you guys think they're favorites or not. I'm not sure.
I think Inter will be the Champions League winner.
I hope they do.
I think PSG.
I hope they do. I hope Inter wins. You know what I'm saying?
I think I said this on Ahwa, and I stand by it. The thing is with Inter, they take you down to that. They drag you down to their level. Mo was trying to disagree with it. I don't know why. It's weird, but they bring you down to their level, bro. If you want to play this silky, brilliant football, yeah, you can play it, but they ain't gonna let you do it undisturbed, bro. You're gonna get disturbed at certain points. You're not gonna be able to do that touch pass, and then get it. The sequence of passes all the way until the like. Do you know what I mean? And that's the reason. That's the reason why Barcelona had some luck with the crosses, but when it came to try and play balls into the back of the net and all of that stuff, like it wasn't really working out for them. Yes, Lamine Yamal had a couple moments in that, but his crosses were horrendous. I've seen people say that he was the best player on the pitch for Barcelona. I disagree, because I think his output towards the latter end was, do you know what I mean? It wasn't good. And me and Ash were sitting there saying that the whole game. Ash saying that, and Ash is a big defender of freaking Barcelona, bro. Like, I'm sorry, but Lamine Yamal, he has to stand up. I'm not even doing this for an agenda thing. I have nothing against the guy, guys.
In the 90th minute.
You know what I mean? I'm not even doing. Yeah, I'm not even doing this about no agenda.
But what if people tell you, "Oh, he had Ferran Torres next to him. What is he supposed to do?" You know what I'm saying? Well, what's your answer to that?
I mean, Inter Milan they had Taremi and Taremi who came on later. But the thing is, I don't know if you guys know this. Yamal set a new record. Yamal completed 14 dribbles that game, though. That the last person to do something more was Neymar against Atalanta 5 years ago when they reached Champions League final. 14 dribbles against this Inter Milan team that's known for stopping attacks and stopping dribbles. Again, I agree with Saad, and I said it in the stream. He messed up many times with his crosses and his finishing.
But his dribbling was on point.
Bruh, his dribbling, oh my God. This guy is going to be legendary, guys. He's going to retire probably top 5 of all time. If he keeps his body fit, obviously.
Anyway, listen, let's speak about the real reason why we're here. You know what I mean? Let's not talk about this.
Let's not beat around the bush anymore.
That whole PSG freaking Arsenal thing was just so Ash could quickly cook me, because do you know what I mean? He's technically right and I was wrong.
You don't listen.
But let's get to the place where we're really all just gonna agree with each other. Arteta, manager, who wants him to stay and who wants him to go?
None of us want him to stay.
I want him.
I mean,
I want him to stay. I want him to stay at home.
I think he needs at least one more year, guys. At least one more year.
Fuck off, man.
No. You know the answer already. You knew my answer last year, Saad. To be fair, you know what I'm saying.
You need to go away, sunshine. Leave me alone, Sky, man. Leave me alone, man.
Yeah,
bro. I've seen her freaking Instagram yesterday, bro. They're like Arsenal fans like this, bro. You know what I mean? I was like, bro, that was me, man. That was me yesterday, bro. I was going through it, man. Yesterday, I was depressed, bro. It was bad.
But really, you know what's worse? You know what's worse? Losing to Spurs in a final.
Inshallah, that doesn't happen, man.
Oh, we have to talk about that. We have to talk about who you guys want to win
Anyway,
the final.
we move on. What I was trying to say is, you knew my answer last year, Saad, and I haven't changed my energy ever since. I was just forced to watch this guy another year at my club. You know what I'm saying? not knowing that this year would be like the biggest downfall of his play style in the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen such regression from season to season, in my opinion. Unless you want to count the time that he downgraded us first before he upgraded us. But I'm not even going to speak about that because that was just the beginning.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, this guy has no leg to stand on, in my opinion, purely because of the fact that people who ask time for Arteta don't have any substance to go by. Because what has this guy done, or what has this guy showed to earn a right to stay? You know what I'm saying? The FA Cup was 5.5 years ago, bro. You know what I'm saying? If an FA Cup is gonna give you a 6 or 7 year managerial career at a top 3 English side, then football is finished. You know what I'm saying? If other clubs thought like that, football would be finished, and Ancelotti would have been here another year. You know what I'm saying? And it's not, and that's not happening. They regressed 1 year and khalas, you're gone. Even though you are the most legendary manager that ever came to this club, you're gone. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, um, us being reactive instead of proactive cost us. Arteta first saying, "Oh, we don't need a striker," and then the Jesus injury happened, and then suddenly he needed a striker. You know what I'm saying? And suddenly it was the board to blame. You know what I'm saying? The amount of times that we win games against big sides, and people tell people like me to say, "Oh, praise the manager," but at the end, when we lose these kinds of games, it's the player's fault instead of the manager's fault. You know what I'm saying? We never have the same energy in this fan base, and that's the biggest problem since day one that this guy joins. Maybe even the last 10 years of Wenger's reign. You know what I'm saying? The people that think they know better, but they don't. They actually don't. You know what I'm saying? It's really that simple. This guy, the longer he stays, the more he's going to regress, in my opinion. The fact that this guy needs every position filled, yeah, to actually go out and get end product, you know what I'm saying? For me, it's just red flag settings, yeah. And that's the reason why I rate guys like Inzaghi so much, because he's doing it with Mkhitaryan playing as a starter in midfield, bro. You know what I'm saying? Mkhitaryan was in our midfield when we finished 8th, brother. You know what I'm saying? And people called those players trash. Oh, that's the worst time I've ever seen at Arsenal. You know what I'm saying? At the and that same player is going to the Champions League final with Inzaghi, bro. So what does that say? What does that say? I'm done being a teacher for a guy that just doesn't learn. You know what I'm saying? The fact that the last few games, his first substitutions came after the 85th minute, bro. 85th minute, 80th minute, 89th minute, if you want to count that one Nwaneri game, you know what I'm saying? Giving Odegaard 90 minutes the last game. You know, I don't care if he's your captain. When we need more attack, we need more attack. And if you have a weak link in your squad, you sub him. It's that simple, bro. It's literally that simple, bro. And the fact that this guy just kept on going and going and going and going and going just shows that this guy is just not good enough, bro. And I'm speaking like this not because to prove that I'm done with this guy, because I've been done with this guy. I'm just trying to tell people that the people that still back him and saying, "Oh, I want to give him another year because now Berta is here, and I just want to see what happens when Berta buys his players." Blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to give him the luxury to get away with every negative shit that he's done at this club. Yeah, and yes, he's done some positives, but khalas. You know what I'm saying? Like he said to that woman from CBS, that's in the past, when she said that he lost 3-1 against PSG. He said that's in the past. You know what's also in the past? The fact that he upgraded us, Zama, because that was like 3 years ago now. You know what I'm saying? An upgrade from where we upgraded to should be a title, and that didn't happen. So at this moment in time, we didn't upgrade for 3 years, because 3 years second is not an upgrade. People can speak about points. Nobody cares. Nobody
Shout out
cares.
to Ashraf.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, nobody cares, bro. So here's my rant. I can go on for another hour if you want. I'm not. I want to give you the space to speak. But all I'm saying is, I've said this. I didn't want to be right. At Saad, you are my witness. I've told you 100 million times I want to be proven wrong. But the fact that I am proven right once again about this guy, bro, speaks volumes. And the fact that people still want to give him another year is just Stockholm syndrome from the last 10 years of Wenger, when he said, "Oh, but what if we give Wenger another year? Maybe he can get us top 4 again." You know know what I'm saying? Bro, it's just another. It's the same shit, different day, but with a different manager. It almost feels like. So there you go. I'll give you the floor, and I'm done for now.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna let everybody speak before me, to be honest, on the whole Arteta situation. Let me. I'm just gonna do the little snake thingy, snake order. Yeah. So I'm gonna go to Ash next. Ash, thoughts on the manager, current situation. Explain your thoughts, why you think this, exactly like what T has just done, and then we'll go to Sammy, and then obviously I'll speak last.
Yeah, look, I mean, my thoughts and my condition, as Sami called it, behind the scenes has never changed. It's always been about progression until we not only win major trophies but continue sustainably challenging or winning trophies every single season. Like, we either win, or if we don't win, we need to at least challenge. The way United did in the 90s and 2000s, the way City have done the last 10-15 years. And I still think that was the right approach. I still think that's the right way to look at it, because if we are improving and getting closer and closer every single time, of course, I would still sack him if a much better manager is clearly there. And the only ones that I would say are incredibly much better, without a shadow of a doubt, in every single way, are Pep and Klopp, right? Like, those are managers I would sack any manager right now for. But outside that, as long as we're progressing, I was okay to back him. In my opinion, and I've had this argument with many people before, at least over the last 1 week, I don't think we've progressed this season. I would actually argue we've regressed, not even stagnated, because yes, people will talk about, oh, but we have gone one step further in the Champions League. Okay, fair. That is progression in the Champions League. No one is denying it. But the regression in the league, in my opinion, is bigger. That drop off from where we finished last season and the way we challenged to where we have landed this season, in my opinion, is a massive drop off. And people will talk about, oh, context, you have to look at injuries. I think that's absolute cap and BS. For many reasons. I'll just mention a few of them. One is, I can name 4 or 5 games top of my head right now where we dropped points and it had nothing to do with injuries. Newcastle away, Aston Villa at home when we bottled a 2-goal lead, Everton at home, Fulham away, West Ham at home when Liverpool just dropped points 3-4 days before that against Villa, and we could have closed the gap to 4 points. We lost at home to West Ham. I saw a stat, or someone was telling me a stat today, that we dropped points. We dropped 21 or 22 points from winning positions. All these things have nothing to do with injuries. All these things have nothing to do with, oh, context, oh, this. I can give you the red card of Brighton. I can give you the red card of City. But I don't think the reason why we haven't challenged for the league and why we're still not in the title race right now, I don't think it's because of injuries. Those games I named just now, if we did better in all those games, we probably would have been 10 points better off and would still have a slight chance of winning the league, right? But we screwed it up ourselves, and I think that a lot of it has to do with the manager. And the second reason why I think it's a ridiculous thing for people to say injuries is because last season we didn't win the league, even though our main challengers and the ones who eventually went on to win the league did not have Haaland for 2 months and did not have KDB for 4 to 5 months. There was a 2 months period where neither one of them was there. So how come people don't mention that? Those are their best 2 attackers. Their primary 2 attackers were unavailable for a period of time. And they still went on to win games. I don't know if Haaland was a month or 2 months, but I remember it was at least a month. And KDB, everyone knows, was out for 4 to 5 months. Right? So people always do this crap of context, injury, this and that. And we spoke about it in Football Terrace just like an hour ago or so. It's such a horrendous argument because there are many teams that have won competitions and won leagues and won Champions Leagues with injuries in their team. This is not new. It's not only happened to us. We just lost to PSG, home and away, and we didn't have those many injuries. Who did we have out? Gabriel, that's it. Don't talk about Kai Havertz, please, because we had a better player starting up top in Moreno. Partey wasn't an injury. Partey was his own stupidity with suspension. So people cannot be mentioning things like injuries for every single thing. And Connor made a very good point in the Football Terrace as well, and he mentioned people talk about injury. Okay, how come we made it to the Champions League semi-finals then with those injuries? How come we pummeled PSV Eindhoven? How come we slapped up Real Madrid quarterfinals? You cannot use injuries where it's convenient and ignore it in other cases. Lots of teams have gone through injuries and have won. So for me, it's just a ridiculous thing to say. I think Arteta has been a major factor on why we haven't won. I think his game management and his tactics have affected us in many matches. I think the way he asks wingers to track back and play like fullbacks sometimes or like wingbacks is one of the reasons why we don't initiate counterattacks as good. Is one of the reasons why we're not able to break low blocks as good, because when they're attacking and we win the ball back, we slow the game down. All these have things to do with tactics, not injuries, nothing else. And I think that's one of the main reasons why we have regressed this season. I was backing him up until last season because I think he did improve us. He did get us closer and closer. He screwed it up this summer, even though, and I'll go back to this, and I don't care if I take stick for it. I still back what I said. I said it was a 7 out of 10 summer transfer window because the only thing that we did not do well was not get a striker. I've said it in the summer. If we got a striker, I would have said it's a 10 out of 10 window, because I think we needed a left back because we suffered with Zinchenko last season. In fact, not just Zinchenko, we suffered with Kivior. I don't know if you guys remember this. We had 4 different left backs play for us last season because every one of them was shitting the bed. Tomiyasu was the only one who was stable for a little while, but he got, obviously everyone knows, he was injured for majority of the season. And the midfield position, because Partey was injured for the whole season up until the last, was it 15 games or something like that? We switched Jorginho there. We played Kai Havertz there. We played Trossard there. We played Smith Rowe there. We played Fabio Vieira there. So I agreed that we needed a midfielder. I agreed we needed a left back. But I also said we needed a striker, and striker was a priority, which is why I said, okay, 7 out of 10, because you fixed one, you fixed the second, you bottled the last one. Because we only needed 3. If we signed Gyökeres this summer, I think we probably could have won the league, or we could have at least come much closer. If we signed Isak, I think we probably would have won either the league or the Champions League. He made that choice. He decided to go for Sesko, and when Sesko wasn't an option, he decided that, you know what, I'm happy with Kai Havertz and Jesus. People talk about, oh, but he said in January transfer window, I need strikers. He only said it when Jesus and Saka were injured. Before those injuries, he didn't say, I want strikers. He didn't say, get me someone else. He said it because we were short, because he didn't see that coming. That's on him. I don't blame the board for saying, I'm assuming that's what they said, I don't know. Hey, we gave you a transfer budget. You said you wanted Kai Havertz. Nobody forced you to spend 65 million on Kai Havertz. That was your choice. We cannot give you 100. Okay, do you want a striker now, or do you want someone in the summer? I guarantee you must have told them, I need a guy in the summer. Because they probably would have said, hey, we'll do whatever it takes to get Ollie Watkins this January. I guarantee he probably said, nah, put 40 million, because I don't want to waste my whole budget on Watkins, because I'd rather go for my main target. And notice how, and I'm going to end with this, and then Sami can go. Sorry, I'll shut up after this. Notice how the links with Sesko have started dying since Berta took over. Because Berta probably took over and said, yo, we're not going for this crap. What are we doing here? Gyökeres' link only became serious after Berta took over. Ornstein, I watched his press conference or interview months before Berta took over, where he said Gyökeres isn't high on the list. And then now, when Berta took over, David Ornstein tweets, Arsenal is seriously considering Gyökeres. What changed? The only thing that changed is Berta, which means if Berta didn't come in, Arteta probably would have said, guys, let's go back for Sesko. And that needs to change. But yeah, anyways, for me, he needs to go. He's not going to go. And because he's not going to go, I'm just going to say this. I don't think we win the league or the Champions League next season, because I don't think he's going to be able to compete with Pep or Slot. And for me, that would be failure.
Sami?
Okay, where to start, man? First of all, it was an abysmal game. I watched the whole game. Even the most time I swore in my watch-alongs was that game. At the beginning, I agree with Ash. With Saad when he said Partey was pivotal for Arsenal, because I thought the same, that he would have done something. And we saw in the first 15-20 minutes, we actually pressed him. We had some attempts, but we didn't capitalize on that. And that's my problem, that we didn't capitalize at any single moment that I'm going to break down now in the game. Second half was not good. They scored the goal. Ruiz scored the goal, and we were shocked. It came out of nowhere. Nobody actually expected that. So many opportunities that we missed. We didn't score any single one of them, and they had only one chance and they scored. And also Hakimi's goal. It was a mistake from Partey, but it is what it is. But before that Hakimi goal, they had a penalty, and they missed that penalty. Vitinha missed that penalty. For me, that was supposed to be an inflection point for Arsenal in terms of shift of momentum. Because when you miss a penalty, you're supposed to now go press even harder. But we didn't do that. I don't know why we didn't do that. This is on the players. This is on the coach. Something really has to be, studied deeply in that significant. Because any game that you watch, if a team misses a penalty, the other team will punish. But we didn't punish. Saka scored a goal, and then he missed an open goal as well. But I want to speak about Arteta and his absolute shit in-game management. He didn't involve Nwaneri. He did not have a single, I would say, change in the middle of the game when he needed to do that, when he had space and time to do that. He got in Ben White and Calafiori. He never changes formations. Okay, when I saw Calafiori in, I'm like, okay, maybe he's gonna play 3 in the back and maybe 5 players in the middle, or 2 in the attack or something. Something has to change here, man. I mean, it doesn't matter if you lose 2-1, 3-1, 10-1. It doesn't matter. You're out. So why you don't be brave enough and try something? You had Sterling, you had Nwaneri. You could have used them as well. But you're not. You're getting me Ben White and Calafiori. What the fuck are those players gonna do for you? Defenders. And he's always subbing head to head, like defender for defender, midfield for midfield, right back for right back, right wing for right wing. He never changes anything. So the idea that you want to give him a summer, that Sol's is saying that he wants to give him a summer. Okay. Before we go to the
I don't even speak French, but I know what that says.
Yeah, me too, man. But anyways, so an Odegaard.
I'm learning French, so I know what that says now. I'm learning French, bro.
And Odegaard was dog shit, man. Utter fucking dog shit, Odegaard. A part of one single shot the whole game.
Whoa! You cannot say that. You cannot say that, bro.
What do you mean?
You cannot say Odegaard is shit. That's prohibited. That's that. You cannot say that, bro.
No, he's not shit. He's utter fucking dog shit, man.
Yes.
He's absolutely bad, man. I don't care what you tell me he did 2 years ago, 3 years ago. You cannot be my captain and number 10 and play like this for Arsenal. You cannot, man. I'm sorry, you cannot. You cannot. And I don't know why Arteta is not getting Nwaneri. And Saad in the background was telling me, because he was missing a training or late for training. If that's the mentality, look, there are 2 people that don't learn in their life. It's an ignorant and stubborn son of a bitch and somebody who's shy. And I think Arteta is the former. I think he's too stubborn and ignorant that he wants to, prove authority on the players, to show them discipline or something like that. It ain't working for you, buddy. You're not that guy. You're not Pep. I'm sorry, you're not Pep. You're trying so hard to be him, but you're not him. You're not that guy, man. I've been supporting Arsenal for more than 2 decades, and this is the worst I've seen us, man. You want to see semifinals? This is the worst I've seen us, man. Back in 2009, when we were in the semifinals, we were even better, with even lack of players, man. This is man. I'm losing my shit here, bro. I'm losing my shit, and Arteta. Even if he gets a striker or a left winger, I don't think we're gonna get anything. I don't think we're gonna get anything with this motherfucker. And then as our coach, he's not a manager. He's not a leader. He doesn't know how to manage his team. He's too stubborn to change. He's I don't know if he's stupid or stubborn, but either way, this is costing us a lot and costing us time and money and resources. And that's it. That's it for me. 5 years down the drain, 750 mil down the drain, and you're not able to deliver me a fucking FA Cup or even Carabao Cup. This is not acceptable. I don't care what other fans are saying. This is my stand with him. He should leave. while he's we can say, okay, he progressed us to this point, and somebody can carry on the baton. I heard Ancelotti is available in the market now. Real Madrid is gonna get rid of him. So I want somebody like Ancelotti. I want somebody like Diego Simeone, somebody who got their team over the line. Somebody with stature. I don't want this project process bullshit, and I have to wait for progression like Mr. Progression Merchant right here. I want to see instant success right now. We have the foundation. Maybe we're missing one or two players in our starting 11. Two players, I think we can win something next year. So, yeah, that's it for me, man. Arteta out. And if Arteta's not out, I would say also Kornacki needs to leave because they're too stupid to see it as well.
Yeah, listen, a lot has been said, which I agree with. I am Arteta out, of course. I mean, big up to T because he made sure that I said it.
I mean, I also asked for full screen, but I'll take this.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's no. I am officially Arteta out. I want him out of the club. No, bro. But here's the thing. Do you know what I mean? I'm not even gonna bullshit. But bro, it was
proud of you, bro.
There you are. For me, I've just I really believed he could win something, and now he's lost that. I said it in the other stream, and I'll say it again. He's lost my respect, and he's lost my trust in him to be able to get us over the line, just because of numerous things that all join together to create one whole thing. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, listen, man. This is the situation that I'm at right now. Is that the manager is going to stay? Yeah, the manager is going to be here for another season, and if he goes the next season and doesn't win anything, then it's not even about me continuously saying Arteta out, because that gets boring. By the way, guys, I want you guys to know now, even though I'm Arteta out, I'm not going to start every single stream with Arteta out. I'm not going to keep on pushing down the Arteta out thing throughout my whole things. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to speak about every game, but we're not going to be discussing. Oh, we might win the title this season. Oh, I think this can happen. I think that can. I'm just going to watch these games and analyze the games for you guys, because this is where I am now.
I mean, nobody's asking you to. Nobody's asking you to, but now you can be free of your shackles and say whatever you want instead of being careful with what you say about the manager because you don't want people to be on your case. You know what I'm saying? Now you can.
No, but I never. There you are. So I never did that anyway.
He was on the fence.
I never. No, but it wasn't necessarily on the fence.
What I'm trying to say is, at Ahwa, you had this whole, I believe my gaffer thing, blah, 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 blah. You don't want to seem that as disingenuous, so you always were on the fence about saying Arteta out, and I understand that because you don't want to embarrass yourself. But at the end of the day, now you release yourself from the shackles, so now you can say what you want. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, all I'm going to say is that at this point, yeah, all I'm gonna say is at this point, listen, I want the manager out. I don't think he can win anything. If he does, I'm happy. I'm celebrating. If he doesn't, then do you know what I mean? That's just where we're at now. And if he goes next season, he still doesn't win anything, and he's still there, then that's when we move over to the Cronkies, and I have to start saying, okay, the owners are now public enemy number one. Do you know what I mean?
Agreed. So
I'm in a similar mindset with you there, bro, and a similar opinion there, bro. Because if it's all good, us wanting the manager out, yeah. But if the manager's continuously staying here and not winning any trophies, then we have to look up to the board, because the board is then the ones that are keeping this going. Do you know what I mean? With Andrea Berta as well, I'm sure that won't happen. But regardless of that, listen, there's numerous things that have.
A question for all of you guys: when do you guys think the Kroenke will pull the plug? Kroenke or Berta, whoever makes the decision now, When do you guys think they'll pull the plug on Arteta? Like, what has to happen for them to say enough is enough? You need to leave.
I mean, two things can happen. Yeah. One thing, the first thing is they actually realize what's wrong and actually go out their way and say to Arteta, you know what, thank you for what you've done, but we have to move on. You know what I'm saying? That's the first scenario. The second scenario will be Berta realizing what kind of fraud this guy actually is, and then them two clashing. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that can happen as well. If Berta has different plans than Arteta, and Arteta still has a voice for a certain to a certain extent, because some people like to say, "Oh, he has no say at all." Now, that's not true because he is gonna have a say a little bit. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if that clash happens, the fan base will either do one thing of will do two things. One, they will either be the Arteta outside, or they will criticize Berta and criticize him, for example. You know what I'm saying? Imagine we have a summer with Berta and we brought some players, blah, 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 and it still doesn't function. I can see some of this fan base who are Arteta sexuals say, oh, the signings that Berta brought in were not good enough, so they're going to blame him instead of the manager at the end of the day. So there is going to be a divide, but this could happen in-house as well, and I'm talking about Berta and Arteta against each other. Because let's be real, Berta is not that type of guy that lets people walk over himself, because he dealt with Simeone. He's definitely capable to deal with someone like Arteta. You know what I'm saying? But the question is, who will the
I don't
Cronkies
think so,
back?
T. I don't think
Who
so,
will the
T.
Cronkies back?
Have you heard his press conference after the loss?
Of course I did. That's
Who's that?
the dumbest shit ever,
Arteta's.
bro.
Oh yeah. Speak
You
about
heard
it,
what he
speak-
said, man. He said we are the best team in the fucking UCL, man. This guy
Brother,
is
this motherfucker's brain dead.
he's living his own world, man. You cannot
brain
talk
dead,
with
bro.
somebody who's insane, man. He's having his own reality. T. You cannot. I at
know.
least Simeone
But
at least has
from
a
smoking
Arteta's
bush,
POV,
bro.
But listen, from Arteta's POV, I understand, because that guy is just, we know how he is, you know what I'm saying? But the question is, the board, Josh Kroenke, who will he back more? Will he back Berta or will he back Arteta? Imagine this clash actually happens, yeah? Are we still going to back Arteta because he's an old player of ours? Or are we going to give Berta or are we going to back Berta and actually say, you know what? Find a new manager as well. What are we going to do? That's my whole question about this situation. You know what I'm saying?
man. It's insane.
Yeah, but then that begs the question: do you guys think
well, answering your question,
Kroenke's hired Berta? Oh yeah, sorry. Answer.
I will answer your
Sorry.
question, Ash. I think it's either two scenarios. Either we see a very steep decline, like from the beginning of the season, we are losing, like a very continuous across like a period of 2 months, or they're gonna give him like one more year because he's gonna push this narrative. Oh, I had injuries and I couldn't, and if it's another coach, like he said, we will be 15th. Because of the referees or because of the injuries or all that crap, so they will give him a 1 year as a, I don't know, like this is your last year, and yeah, until the end of the season. If he doesn't win shit, I think they will mutually just say goodbye. But what I'm afraid of is we don't want to have that in the mid of the season, like in the first 10, 15 rounds, and then we change coach. It's going to be a devastating season for us if that happens, because you don't know what's the trajectory when the new manager comes in. Either that steep decline will continue, or you're going to have, you're going to go upward trend. So I don't know. What do you think, Sab? You're muted.
You're on mute, you fraud. You fraud. You're like Arteta.
Close,
Bro, can you shut your mouth? Can you shut your mouth, you piece of
your
shit?
PlayStation. Shut off your
Bottle it.
PlayStation.
You're on the
You
channel
fraud.
and
So
bottle
firstly, this is what I'm looking at, mate. This is what I'm looking
Why
at.
are you
mate.
glazing
How about that,
Cristiano
mate?
Ronaldo and
this
Gareth
guy,
Bale,
bro.
bro? This guy, bro.
Because
If only
that's the
Arteta
standards.
also had-
That's the kind of players that I want at my football club. Cristiano
If only
Ronaldo. Cristiano
if only
Ronaldo.
Arteta- If only Arteta in that press conference also had his mic muted like this fraud had, we wouldn't have had to hear all that crap.
Fraud. Anyway, sorry, what were we talking about? Sorry, I was actually doing something.
He's
Look at
saying
this guy.
when do you
Look
think
at this guy.
the Chronicle will pull the plug on Arteta
Or Berta.
Um,
or Berta?
Yeah, and who will they back first?
That's exactly.
thing
Let
is,
me rephrase it. That's a better
if I
question. And Saad, I want you to answer this. Yeah. For starters, do you think the Kroenkes have given Berta enough power to not only decide who comes in, who goes out, but also decide the fate of the manager? First, say yes or no, and then if the answer is no, sorry,
He's a
if the
control
answer is
freak, man.
yes, yeah, if the answer is yes, when do you think Berta will cut Arteta?
the reason I gave. By the way, your mic's a bit low, so just double check that as
Is
well.
it? That's the first time someone told me that.
Yeah.
Oh, sounds good to me.
No, it just sounds lower than usual. So I don't know if he's got the voice down.
Oh yeah. It is low. I think it's
Okay,
fine
too
now.
loud, too loud, too loud, bro.
Bro, I heard that 10 years ago.
Bro, it's crazy, bro.
Okay, is it better now?
Yeah.
It's better now, bro.
You sure, yeah?
Hell, bro. Man turned the volume all the way to the max, bro, and said, "Hey, yeah."
It's a sure mic, bro. It's a
Hell,
sure mic. This thing is
Oh,
loud.
Hold on,
yeah, it's
Shema.
crazy. Have they given enough power to Andrea Berta?
Yeah.
Based on what I've seen so far, they've definitely give him a lot of power. Andrea Berta is definitely in the driver's seat right now. Just
did you see so
based
far?
on just based on how the transfer. For example, what we've seen with the targets, what we've seen with Cisco and how
Yeah, man.
Ashraf
Forget about the
said
gossips,
it's
man.
like-
Forget about the gossips, man. We're linked always to 10, 20 players every
Habibi,
every month, man.
Habibi. It's something if you're linked to that player and you're continuously going on about him. Rice is always there. We're continuously going on about Rice. We've been going on about Cisco for about 2 years or about a year and a half now. Yeah, they've been going on about this Cisco brother. All of a sudden, packed up, put down in the back of the van. Ornstein's now talking about Gyökeres, now talking about this, now talking about they've changed. There's a change in mentality. He wants it's more of a win now. Do you know what I mean? More than a thing. And apparently, Andreas Berta's come into there and said, "No, we need to win now. There's no youth process anymore. There's no youth project anymore." These guys were always looking at youth and all of this. The fact that he's been able to come in and change that around to say, "No, we're winning now. We need to get players to win now," shows me that he has a lot of power already. Now, of course, I understand what you're saying, Sammy. We need to wait to see the action because talk is too much. We need to see action, of course. But just from what I've heard from reliable journalists like a David Ornstein, who is a very reliable journalist, I think we can all agree with that.
But even those guys, they hit and miss. They miss a lot as well.
No, but David Ornstein is right a lot of the time. Maybe you can count on one hand how many times he's been wrong, but a lot of the time, David Ornstein, you wait for David Ornstein to say it, it's definitely coming from the club. You know that is definitely, there's a 98% chance that is happening. The odd chance
it could be a PR stunt, or a PR hopium.
I don't know about that, but listen, whether they've given him enough power, it looks like it so far. We'll have to wait and see what happens. What happens in the transfer
Big
window,
up Vader, man. Big up Vader. Sad.
What do you say? Can Sada remind us of what the factors were for him to believe in his gaffer when he made that statement?
You're getting a lot of stick for that, man. Vader, he changed.
Vader, bro. Vader, do you support the Toronto Raptors? Let me know, man. So I can diss you on another team, bro. You know what I mean? I can diss you on another team. But listen,
don't forget, Vader, you could also end the season trophyless, by the way. It's not far-fetched.
Come on, Palace, man. Come on, Palace. Come on, man. We're here for it, bro. I'm gonna be singing songs, bro.
Or they can end up second, which is top of us, and with an FA Cup.
That's true as well. That's true. I'll say this, guys. I don't know.
It could go bad.
Because I don't think we're going to touch on this later. I actually think that now that we are out of the Champions League, which is obviously embarrassing, I think we probably have a better chance.
I know exactly
we have a better chance of beating Liverpool, Newcastle, and Southampton now.
I actually think so as well.
Yeah, these guys have shown they can play they cannot play under that pressure like that. I mean, or they can, but it just hasn't happened. I think now that the pressure is gone, these guys are going to play a bit more freely. I think we'll definitely beat Newcastle. I think we'll definitely beat Southampton, and I think we could beat Liverpool as well. I'm not joking.
I'll
nothing.
never
It
forget
means
that.
nothing.
I'll never forget that Everton game where we just slapped them. I think it was 4-0 or something like that, or 5-0 at the end of the season. After it was officially
5-1.
like, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? 5-1. After we bottled it, and it was, I think it was the first season. It was
The
the
top
first
4.
season
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
challenged.
No,
Oh
no,
yeah,
no, no.
it was
wasn't.
top 4. It was top 4. It was top 4. Yes, it was top 4. After we bottled top 4, and we were relying on Norwich to beat Spurs, and then we slapped up Everton. It looked like, and Everton were actually all right that season. They were getting good. They were very defensive, bro, and they were getting good results against bigger teams because they were just low.
It wasn't just that.
Just do the
Even
madness.
the first season,
But
even the first season we challenged when we bottled, bro, we slapped up Wolves 5-1 in the last game of the season as well. When Granit Xhaka scored 2 goals.
bro, I do agree that I think with the lack of thing. Listen, here's the thing, Ali. I understand it. God of honor, you lot are gassed. Listen, big up to you guys. My wish
There are some good questions in the super chats as well. I think we need to address them.
no. Oh shit! We were supposed to address that after everybody said their fucking Arteta out. Shit, guys.
Shameless.
Let's.
This is
Yeah,
your host.
sorry. I'm
This
so
is your
sorry,
host.
guys.
Fraud.
I'm so sorry, guys. Anyway,
Fraud. Yeah, this is your host. This is your host.
yeah, who's the host?
Fraud.
I got him. He went. This is your host.
You didn't get it.
Talking about himself.
Unbelievable. I
Hey,
wish.
listen,
I'd
big
be
up
reading this
to-
super chats 10 minutes ago.
Big up to AMT, who says, how can Saka, since he was 18 years old, playing almost every time,
Very good
but he
question.
can't bring on Nwaneri for at least 30 minutes? No
Mhm.
balls.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
100% agreed.
Pussy
100% agreed. That's such a good point, man. It's no balls from the manager to try something different, take a risk, and this is something definitely.
Throw
which
the
manager-
kitchen sink, man. You're losing
Yeah.
anyway. Throw the kitchen
This is-
sink.
this is-
bro.
That's the whole point.
this is definitely what
he's not a
something is.
proactive manager. He's a reactive manager. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Even the reaction T
Definitely.
is not the reaction you're supposed to
No,
have.
the
you know?
only reaction, and this is me giving him credit, yeah. The only reaction that he actually had was subbing Timber for Ben White, but also 10 minutes after he got injured as well, he let him play for 10 minutes, and then he was like, you know what, I'll sub you off. So that was the only reaction that he actually did. Apart from that, he did substitutions and didn't do
Mm.
anything.
Yes,
Yeah.
great.
AMT also says best defense ? 21 points dropped from winning positions. It's, bro, 21
embarrassing.
points dropped
mad
from
stats.
winning positions is disgusting.
Mhm.
It's criminal. It's criminal.
Agreed.
That is mad. It is mad. That can't happen as a team that is trying to go for a title. You can't drop from winning positions. You're winning the game and you drop it to either draw. Obviously, it's been a loss like a few times. I think we've only got like 4 losses. But look at the draws, bro. 13 draws, bro. It's disgusting. It is disgusting.
Yeah.
And then obviously Aaron with a question as well. By the way, big up to this for the super chats, guys. Honestly, absolutely amazing, man. Aaron saying
Big
in
up,
retrospect, big up to Aaron, guys. In retrospect,
And AMT, of course. Big up AMT. as well.
yeah, of course. In retrospect, do you think signing Watkins was an opportunity missed this season, or was it the right decision going forward? It's a question to the panel.
Seeing what we've seen from Arteta, it does not matter who he has. He doesn't know how to in-game management.
And I think the guy who played up top, anyways, had better stats than Watkins, funny enough, Moreno. So I don't think Watkins was a missed opportunity. I think we could have done better without Watkins. I think we could have done better even before the January transfer window. So I don't look at it and say it's a missed opportunity.
I mean,
Um,
numbers wise, is definitely a missed opportunity, but quality wise, he hasn't been great this season, and who knows how he would have played at Arsenal. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things.
Yeah.
But for example, Kvaratskhelia is definitely a missed opportunity. 65 million.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's definitely a missed opportunity. I've been
Agreed.
talking about Fabian Ruiz for 2 years now, and look how he cooked us. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't even want him. Enrique didn't even play him at first. This season, he started playing him all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? So we have a lot of missed opportunities, and Watkins is just an example of many.
Yeah, no, I agree with the point that, bro, we literally put Marino up top and look at the amount of goals he scored, bro, in such a small amount of time, bro. I mean, what better could you what more would you have received from an attacking player? He scored the goals for us, bro. Do you know what I mean? So
From a DM.
I just don't think it would have made much difference for him this season. But in the grand scheme of things, there's much more. I think people are putting their head in the sand, and they're just trying not to figure out what the actual issues here are. They're more focusing on well, look at the injuries and look at we don't have strikers and attackers and we don't have this and we don't have that, but they don't actually want to look at some of the mistakes that have been made. Some of the mistakes that have been made tactically, some of the mistakes that have been made in-game mistakes, some of the games that have some of the times that we've not made substitutions early enough and tried to get a hold of a game. Like it's much more than just we didn't sign attackers, we need attackers, we need to do this, we need to do that. Look at the referees, look at the injury. There's more to.
I want to address Vater's comment here saying 13 draws ain't bad. What do you mean ain't bad, man? Listen, if we win half of that, I would say seven games out of those draws.
He's trolling, by the way.
Huh?
He's trolling.
Yeah, I know.
You missed the punchline. You missed the punchline, bro.
We would have been, 7 games.
That's why I say our invincible season is overrated. But anyway, sorry, go on, Sami.
Yeah, if we win half of those draws, I would say 7 games, we would have been 1 point from Liverpool right now. And we would have had a chance to win the Premier League.
With a massive game tomorrow, which, by the way, we would have bottled. If we had to go to Liverpool tomorrow
but at
to
least we have
win
something.
and go top, we would have lost the game for sure. 100%. But now that we are going there to play for nothing, I think we have a better chance of winning. Not tomorrow. Sorry, when is the game? Sunday, no?
No, Sunday. It's Sunday.
Yeah, it's Sunday, yeah. But Ashraf, we are Vibes FC. This has been known for years, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wallahi,
Especially now
next season.
FC, bro.
Well, and I
So
said
next
that
season,
Saad
you all
last time.
gonna
Wallahi,
be
next
vibing next season, right?
Waqsim billah, for me, it's vibe season next season. I'm like, hey,
So-
we win. Alhamdulillah, we don't win. Well, I don't think we're going to win anything major anyways. Unless we reach like a Champions League final, or let's say we're like 8 points ahead by March, I'll be like, then I'll have to believe. I'll have no choice. But if, let's say, we're in a title race, it's close, or, we are in the Champions League quarterfinal, semi-final, wallahi, I'll be like, I don't think we're winning.
Yeah. Ash might still have that thing to believe, that small percentage to believe of like an unlikely scenario. Even with the unlikely scenario, unless I see that trophy being lifted, bro, I still don't believe. Even if we're like 50 points ahead, I'm still not gonna believe, bro. No, bro. I don't give a shit until we lift that trophy. I don't care.
Traumatized. He's traumatized.
No. Okay.
I'm never putting my belief in this manager.
No. Wait.
Until they prove
I get you with a Champions League final. Yes, let's say we're in a Champions League final, and you're like, no, I still don't believe because Arteta might not be good enough. He might bottle it in the final. But if are you telling me if we are 8 points ahead in the league, assuming all games are level, not 8 points ahead and the other teams have a game in hand. If we are 8 points ahead by the end of March, you're saying you.
Yes.
Nah, that's ridiculous. Come on.
Do you know why? Because we've seen these guys crumble 3 times, bro.
No, not from 8 points ahead end of March, bro. Stop it.
I don't care about 8 points ahead, bro.
End of March, 8 points, bro.
Habibi, wallahi, it doesn't care,
They can bottle
matter, bro.
But we will never be there anyways. We'll never get there, so it's pointless.
Ashraf. There's a saying, yeah. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But fool me 3-4 times, khalas, where are we going, bro? You know what I'm saying? What am I doing? In Turkey, we have a saying: a donkey doesn't hit his head twice on the same stone. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't. Even a donkey doesn't do that, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know how T? Do you know they have a similar one in Jordan?
They do.
Yeah.
You and donkeys are the same. What is the difference between you and a donkey? The donkey, you take the whip, you hit him, and the donkey's like ee-aw. That's the donkey. You're a donkey.
Sorry, I love playing that clip, bro. That's the best, bro. I love that clip, man.
I remember when we used to use that clip last season a lot for Kai Havertz. What
Yeah.
a waste of
But he
65
but he
million,
had a
bro.
comeback season, yeah. But anyway, that's what I wanted to
I
say.
said all summer, I said it's a purple patch. People didn't believe me. Mo
Yeah.
asked me in
Yeah,
the
nah, it's
summer,
crazy.
why would you? Mo asked me in the summer, but if he was performed well, why do you want to get a different striker? I told him, Mo, the reason I want a different striker is because he had a purple patch. That's not who he really is.
Ash
I told him,
proved
I
that
guarantee him,
All I'm saying is put Saad next to Saka, he will score 10 goals as well. Khalas.
bro, ridiculous. Oh, sad, I don't know, but anyways,
Hey!
bro.
Hey! I was top striker. I was top striker in fucking Sunday League, bro. Relax.
Sunday League.
I mean, I was putting tackles in, bro. Forget about that, bro. Quick one. Anyway,
He's a bum of a striker, honestly.
yeah,
Guys,
you
PSG Inter Milan
bro.
Champions League final. Let's talk about actually a good game. With
Can-
by the
can-
way,
can I-
this
can I say one
Sunday,
thing before we move on? Can I say one thing before we move
Yeah.
on? Because you did
Yeah, yeah.
because one of you guys mentioned the Arteta interview, but you failed to mention one thing. Yeah, he said other things as
Mhm.
well. You know what I'm saying?
He did.
What do you say?
What did he say?
Sammy, what did he say?
No, I'm not sure what you're pointing at, but the one
No,
that
because
catches me was,
he not only talked about us being the better team. He said that the PSG team, the bench
Told him.
said that to him, and
Yeah.
then the woman of CBS asked him, "Who said it to you?" I said, "Ah, yeah, some of them." and then Luis Enrique at the press conference, he said, "What? That's not true." What? This guy's lying through his teeth, bro.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. No,
I
guys,
told you,
it's
Sad.
awful.
I told
It's
you
awful.
100 times. This guy is a pathological liar. He's a liar. Literally, he's lying to his straight teeth, bro.
And a control freak. And he's
I have a
control
feeling
freak.
he didn't lie. I have a feeling what happened is when he went to shake hands with Emery, someone from the bench, like one of the players or something, probably said, "Yeah, you guys played better." Like just out of humility, out of humbleness, you know. Like I think this example has been used on many places. I remember Terry said this, and many have been saying this over the last 2 days. You know, when you play a game against someone, like if I'm playing FIFA against someone, I gave this example a couple hours ago. If I'm playing FIFA against my nephew and I always smashed him 8-0, 5-0, 6-0, and one time I beat him and he scores one goal and I beat him 6-1, I would just say, "Hey, you know what? You're getting better, bro. You're getting
That's
better.
fine.
You scored."
That's fine, Ash. But you don't
Wallah,
come up.
That's a humility, but that's
No,
what I really
that's fine.
feel.
That's fine. That's fine. But you don't come up in the camera and say we were the best team in the whole fucking competition.
Yeah,
You know?
that's why that's what I'm saying, Sammy. I think
You're
someone
living in
from
a
the bench
cuckoo
told
land,
him
man.
this. That's what I'm saying, Sammy. I think someone from the bench told him this just out of humility, and instead of this idiot keeping it in his mind and saying, "You know what, they're just being humble," he actually went and bragged about it on the freaking press conference as if that's another trophy. They're gonna add. I guarantee they're gonna troll us now. Rivals are gonna troll us and say, "Arsenal won the bench told me I'm better trophy." Like they're gonna start doing that shit, bro. Like it's just insane. Don't you? And I don't agree about it because I've seen Arsenal fans strongly defend that point and say we were the better team home and away. I don't think we were. I don't know why
No.
people say that. Why
No,
were we
we
the
were
better
not.
team just
We were
because we
not.
had more big chances? So
We
what?
were not.
PSG
First leg-
missed sitters as well.
No, first leg we were really awful. Really awful in
Yeah.
the first leg.
Yeah,
They
we
should
were.
have won the first game 3-0 or 2-0.
Yes.
Bro, even the second game, even though we had a good part of that game where we played well, we had like
20 minutes.
Oh
Yeah.
man, there's
from those 17 shots or maybe 19 shots we had, like 15 of those were off target, bro. We
No,
didn't even
but man,
hit the target that much, bro.
I agree with you, T. But the second leg, Donnarumma was a beast.
He was
Donnarumma,
because you know
yeah,
he deserves his credit. He
Only
definitely
first 20
was.
minutes, no?
No, man. He saved
No,
some.
you
Oh, I
know
didn't
what
watch
makes
second- I
him,
didn't watch
you
second
know
half,
what
so I
makes
don't
him
know.
a very good goalkeeper, Ashraf, and a very smart goalkeeper as well. The fact that he went down and acted like he was injured to kill off our momentum, because that's
Oh,
exactly
he
what
did that.
happened.
Bro, he
He
did
did
that
that
in
in
the
the
10th
first
minute,
half.
and I was like, I guarantee you this pussyo is not injured. He's just
He's fine.
smart. He knows, yo, these guys are killing us momentum. Let me get destroyed. That's
And
what
you
you
know
need
which
experience, man.
which players won't do that? The players like Odegaard who listen to their manager and only listen to their manager. There you go.
Yeah, David Raya as well, all these guys.
But Donnarumma had really.
That's, by the way, that's
From
another
From
thing.
what I heard,
That's another thing. Sorry, I'll just say this out quickly. That's another thing that people don't give Arteta enough slack for. He came into a club, had Emiliano Martinez, who was major in us winning the FA Cup, sold him for 20 million, which is fine because we also had another top keeper in Bernd Leno at the time. People were talking about who should be a starting keeper. Remember, Bernd Leno was a starting keeper, and then Emiliano Martinez only got his chance when Leno got injured by Neil Mopai. Got rid of Martinez, kept Leno. We said, okay, fine, that's the number one keeper we have now. A year later, got rid of Leno, got Ramsdale. 2 years later, gets rid of Ramsdale, gets Raya. The guy signed 4 or 5 different keepers in his tenure. That's also money wasted. When people say, "Oh, but the choices," those are his choices. He wasn't happy with the keepers.
That's why I'm
Next
done
time,
with him.
scout better. Next time, scout better.
And that's why I cannot stand people who say, "Oh, but the board didn't back him. They, said they didn't buy him a striker, bro. What about all the players that he actually had a say in? You know what I'm saying? Well, why are we not talking about those?
I think the goalkeeper is the easiest player to scout on the pitch or on the squad.
100%. So good shot stopper who can play with his feet.
Diogo Costa, halas. It was done. Diogo Costa, halas. It was done.
I'll be real with you guys. As soon as I heard Rice saying that we have so many injuries, I was like, this is bad, because this is not only the manager saying this now, it's trickled down to the leaders on the pitch, bro.
Yeah,
and the leaders on the pitch are now saying this kind of stuff.
Instead of
leaders
saying,
on the pitch are using the excuses. Instead of saying we're disappointed, we weren't good enough this season.
Agreed.
That's one thing that Xhaka said, bro. Xhaka after that first season, bro, was like, bro, do you know what I mean? After that top four run, bro, after that top four, when he missed out on top four, he came out in that interview. Don't you remember the interview after the Newcastle game, bro? I think it was a Newcastle game. I'm not sure which game. And he was like we weren't good. We didn't do. We were very poor, and we don't deserve to. If you want to be at this level and you want to play at the top level, you've got to win games like this. You've got to come here and win. You got to do this. You got to do like. I need that kind of talk. When we lose and we come out of tournaments, I don't want to hear my manager talk about we're the best team in the competition. I want to hear you. This is Arteta. Let me show you how you do a proper interview. Somebody just quickly asked me, what did you think of the loss, real quick?
What did you think of the loss?
Yeah, it was a shame that we lost to PSG. Obviously, PSG were the better team of the two legs. We just weren't good enough to beat them over the two legs. Unfortunately, we were missing out on certain aspects of the game in regards to pressing, in regards to finishing our chances, and it's something that we definitely need to work on the training ground, and we need to come back next year and we need to do better. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear.
Send this clip to Arteta, please.
I don't want to hear. Oh, well, they told me, you know what I mean? We're the best team in the competition, and they told me that we're a good team. Even they told me we're better than them.
Like, this is the whole reason why I personally, and I don't want to speak for other guys, but I personally never agreed with us buying only nice players. I want assholes in this team who actually have a voice and a personality. You know what I'm saying?
Kai Havertz is an asshole.
No, he's an asshole to you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna.
But he's garbage.
Yeah. Anyway,
no. Here's the thing.
Listen. Havertz is an asshole.
Havertz is an asshole, and Ben White is an asshole. No, but Havertz and Ben White are an asshole.
Ben White is, yeah.
But we need that asshole, but talking wise as well.
Okay. No, you need a player who's arrogant and skillful at the same time.
What I'm trying to say is,
like Ibrahimovic, for example.
For example, yes, Havertz is an asshole to other players, but will he be an asshole to the guy that saved him from so bad Chelsea that just mistreated him? You know what I'm saying? Like a poor deer that got shot in the leg.
You cannot, you cannot trust
he's not going to turn his
donkey.
He's not going to turn his back to Arteta. That's never going to happen. That's what I mean. That's why he didn't want Tony. That's why he sent away players like Oba. You know what I'm saying? It's really not simple, bro. This guy only brings nice guys in, like Odegaard, that only listens to him. He doesn't want people talking back to him. It's just that simple. Yes. And this whole
Oba was different though, T. But I agree with you.
Maybe Oba was not the.
No, he had an attitude.
But I agree. I agree with your premise, though. I agree with your premise.
Yes, but what I'm trying to say at the end of the day is he won't bring in players like that overall because he knows he can be the one that just kills the whole feng shui of Arteta, you know what I'm saying, and just talks back to him. He doesn't want that. And this whole Rice interview just proves that he actually likes Arteta. You know what I'm saying? He, in his mind, he maybe doesn't believe in him like that, but he likes Arteta because he brought him into Arsenal. He was the guy that actually liked him and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to turn his back to him like that. It's just that simple. They can only do subliminal messages, but apart from those subliminal messages, they don't say shit. It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying?
I don't mind
Yeah,
that.
you know what? I can't.
Sorry, Sad. So I'm saying I don't mind that attitude, but you need to have that credit in the bank so that you can have that kind of attitude, and you want such a discipline or whatever, like Pep. You know, for you, no.
Yeah, and I don't even mind if he approached it the way Pep does sometimes. I don't mind if he came out saying, I love my players. I think they gave it all. I think we have to improve, but I like the players and I'm proud of them. We'll come again next year. That's fine as well. Because it's okay for you to take the heat of your players a little bit. It's okay for you in public to defend them. And then obviously behind the scenes, give them all the backlash they need to get. I don't mind that. But coming out saying shit like, we were a better team, that comes out as arrogant. That comes out as not only arrogant,
delusional, man. He's delusional.
It comes out as if you don't know what happened on the pitch.
It's a cult.
Yeah, it literally makes it seem like you have no idea what just happened. It makes it seem like he doesn't know why they got knocked out. Probably in his head, he's thinking the only reason we got knocked out to PSG is because A, we were super unlucky. Luck was just not on our side. And we had players missing. No, that's not the case. You lost because you didn't manage the game well. And your players, I don't think the players, by the way, people are saying PSG players are better than us. That's BS. Nobody in the summer had PSG players over Arsenal. Nobody in the summer thought PSG's midfield is better than Arsenal's. Nobody in the summer, maybe even now, thinks PSG's defense is better than ours. Yes, they have Kvaratskhelia and Doué. Those are the only difference makers. Because Saka is equivalent to Dembele. Those other two are better, I agree. I think midfield is balanced, and our defense is better than theirs. The difference maker has been the manager. Luis Enrique took the same PSG team and switched up their style of football. Makes them dominate possession, makes them attack really well, transition really well, defend well, even though like obviously they're not known for their defense. But that's all on Luis Enrique. I guarantee if you switched up the managers, we would probably have a better chance of winning with Luis Enrique.
And by the way, the way PSG played in that second leg in the first 30 minutes is not the way they play usually. They actually set up well and absorb the pressure. And then when we put our foot off the gas, and then they hit us with the goals. You know what I'm saying? You know what that is? That's in-game management, bro.
I got into this argument with LB and Wolfie on Hassan's channel, and he was like, Hassan said it was a tactical masterclass by Enrique, and I agreed with him. And they're like, no, but that's how he always plays. It's not tactical masterclass. BS! Because against Liverpool, they dominated possession. Against City, they dominate possession. Against all the big teams they play, most of the times, they dominate possession. Against us, we had more possession. You cannot tell me that's not a masterclass from Enrique. He's like, not because he cannot keep the ball, because he knows they can kill us on the counter. And they've almost done a couple of times. That is tactical masterclass.
But he also unlocks his players. And he knows the potential.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But I'm saying if you watch the Liverpool games and watch the games they played against us, it wasn't the same. They had more possession against Liverpool, I think, home and away. And they moved the ball really well. Against us, they're like, hey, we cannot keep possession against these guys because they'll defend deep. We'll let them have more of the ball. It's fine, but we'll kill them on the counter every single time.
By the way, guys, breaking news live on Saad's Football Corner.
Arsenal
bro, if that was the case, I would be screaming, bro. What you mean? Anyway, Arsenal have an agreement in principle in place to sign Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad.
Who's put that out?
We knew that already.
Ben Jacobs. He posted it like 3 minutes ago. Deal only pending formalization. Although Arsenal are cautious given Zubimendi has changed his mind in the past, there is now a full agreement in place with the player. Edu and Jason Ato, the driving forces behind the deal, even though Zubimendi is now expected to become the first signing of the Andrea Berta era. This Ben Jacobs fraud. got paid to give fucking Edu and Jason Cato credit.
Credit,
Oh my
100%,
God.
bro. That was an extra 10K in his bank account. They gave him an extra 10 grand just to say
Wallahi.
that, bro.
So
Just to
shameless,
say that,
bro.
bro.
Just to say, oh, they weren't all that bad, guys. They
Guys,
founded the foundation, bro. Fuck off. Actually, fuck
guys,
off.
they were bad, but this rumor started when Edu was still here. So to be fair,
Here we go. Here we
no,
go.
no, no, no,
I
no, no, no,
swear
no,
to
no, no,
God,
no,
I
no, no.
hate it when Ash
Berta,
fucks this
I'm
guy.
glad-
This Edu guy.
No.
What did he do for you, bro? What did
Stop,
he do for you,
stop.
bro?
Stop. I'm
It's
glad
pissing
that
me
we
off,
got
bro.
Flipping
Berta.
burgers.
Oh
and,
my
and
God.
grilling.
I'm glad that we
Oh.
got Berta, but let's not be
I
unnecessarily
can't lie, I'm now
disingenuous.
watching all football.
We were,
so I'm sitting here
we were
watching Milan
linked-
versus Bologna, bro.
bro.
I'm
Sometimes
sitting
I
here
do
watching
it.
Milan,
I swear,
Bologna.
sometimes I do it. I put in like, okay, this is probably gonna be even embarrassing. Saad will laugh. I put in like those peak Messi Barca days, right? You know when they slapped up Madrid 5-0, Mourinho's like first Clasico when he took over Real
No,
Madrid.
no, this is live game. This is
I
live
watched
game.
that. Huh? Which game is that?
I'm watching live games. It's Milan
Which
versus
game?
Bologna. They're playing right now, 1-1.
Oh, 1-1. Yeah, 1-1. Yeah, I saw the
It's
score.
the worst type of
Spaghetti
football I've ever seen in my
bolognese.
life, bro. Bro, Milan is so shit, by the way. Sorry, go ahead. Carry on. Carry on.
They won 3-0 against
No,
Inter Milan.
I was just saying that
Yeah, but
we were
they're
linked
shit.
with him. We were linked with him back when Edu was there, and when the news first broke out that Arsenal are gonna get Zubimendi, Edu was still here, right? So like, I think people have to also give credit. I think they drove the conversation forward and they made that link happen, and obviously Berta is just sealing the deal.
I mean,
But
hey,
whatever,
if,
Edu
it's
needed
true,
to go,
if,
it's
if
fine.
this is true, big up. You know what I'm saying? But if it's not true, I will stay cautious because this
Big
guy,
up.
bro. Yeah, big up. I'm not even gonna say his name. Big up, old player
Big
of
up.
ours. You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
Hey, he's an invincible. He's an invincible, no?
yeah, invincible bench player.
Yeah, he was,
Anyway. Yeah, he was an invincible. Yeah, you don't even know. That's how irrelevant he was. Anyway.
No. He came off the bench many games. He started many games as well.
Okay, yeah.
When
But
we
he
had
never
Gilberto
never
out.
got past Gilberto Silva. So big up Gilberto. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is. I'm gonna hold my excitement because of the fact that this guy is a flip flop. You know what I'm saying? This guy's literally sat as a footballer, so I'm not gonna put my eggs into the Zubimendi basket
Hold
just
that.
yet.
Hold
So
that,
yeah, big up Ben Jacobs, but you're a paid fraud. I'm not gonna believe you just yet. I want to see the shirt.
I need to see the
Although-
Ornstein bomber. I need to see the Ornstein bomber. If Ornstein brings it
Although
out,
to
then
be
I'm
fair, Ben Jacobs is not like
Fabrizio.
an Arsenal reporter, bro.
yeah, he
doesn't get
never
inside
does.
scoop
He never does
He
Arsenal.
never
He's
does.
always the last one to comment on it.
to post. Yeah, exactly. So
Or
I
he
don't think
normally
he's
waits
doing-
for the Ornstein thing, and then he piggybacks off of it. Oh, as per Ornstein, this and this and this and that. Like,
Yeah.
and words it
Guys,
different.
in the interest of time, we have two major topics to discuss. I don't know why we're not
Yeah.
discussing that. I know we're not happy that we're not in the final, but we have to talk about that final. Who do you guys
Address
think
the-
will go through, and how do you think it'll go?
Before that, let's address the super chat. I think Inter.
Not another one. Is there another super chat?
I think
Allah, there is.
Start, pay
Yes.
attention. Pay
You know,
attention.
We got AMT, man. I listen, guys. Can we spam W's in the chat for AMT and for Aaron? Just spam W's in
There
the
you
chat.
go.
Right?
AMC.
Spam
W's,
W's in the
guys.
chat, man.
W.
Freaking AMT's going nuts, bro, and Aaron was going crazy with his super chat as well, bro. Can we just spam W's in the chat for them, please? I beg, like,
There we
please, man. Come on, guys. Well, big up to AMT who says that is why I believed we would have settled the goalkeeper situation a long time ago with Martinez.
But that was we cannot
Hey,
blame
looks
that on
fun.
Arteta because nobody wanted Martinez, bro. Literally nobody played him. He always went on loan and then we sold him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nobody gave him the chance, actually.
Yeah, nobody.
The thing
But to
is,
be honest,
the thing is with Martinez, yeah, he'd already been hurt by the club because it sounded like he was asking to be played way before he left. He was promised maybe game time, and eventually you're just like, bro, I want to get out of here, man. I'm done. Do you know what I mean? I'm sick and tired of it. I'm done. I ain't going game time, bro.
I mean,
Eventually,
all power to
that's
him,
gonna
bro.
happen, bro.
I understand.
No,
this.
but he's become one of the best goalkeepers in the world, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
He's
what
not.
he's done.
No, he's not.
No.
No, he's not.
He's one of.
He's
bro.
horrendous with his feet. He makes so many errors. I'll tell you what he's amazing in. penalties.
Shots.
Penalties,
shots.
I want him there.
Penalties.
Also shot stopping.
Actually,
No,
shot
shot stopping
stopping. Now that I
made-
think
no.
about it,
Shot
there's
stopping
a
is let out
few
many
goals, bro. There's a few goals.
Yeah.
Even sometimes, even in the PSG game, when he tried to stop the shot, it went
Exactly.
under him, bro,
Exactly.
and he had to try and
And that
catch it,
happened
bro.
many times. I
Actually,
can remember
now I'm
3 or 4
thinking
goals.
about it, he does
Yeah.
actually. His shot stopping isn't that good, actually.
By the way, he was an amazing shot stopper in his last season with Arsenal, but that started dying off slowly. I don't know why. Okay, maybe
mean,
age. I don't know, but
what
it started dying off, which is fine.
what AMT is right in, and I will give him, you know what I'm saying, some credit for his super chat. Is we didn't need to buy 5 keepers because we had Martinez
Yeah.
sitting there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
That was my
You
point.
could
as
have
well,
just
yeah.
played
Yeah, Ash
Martinez,
mentioned.
and then maybe when you found the perfect keeper, then you buy that keeper. You know what I'm saying? It was not
Exactly.
needed to buy Ramsdale and sell
Okay.
Martinez, bro. That was not needed. That was
But the thing
literally
is,
yeah.
he bet on the wrong horse, bro. Do you know what I mean? He bet on Bert Leno, and
Yeah.
that's
Why?
that's
Bernd Leno wasn't a bad keeper. Why
yeah.
do people say that?
No. But out of the 2 keepers, I think Martinez would have been a bit better to keep. He would have been the one to go with out of the 2.
Probably, but
In my
there's 2
personal
reasons why
opinion.
I'll tell you why they sold him at the time, and I remember the reason as well. For starters, Leno was a starting keeper before the injury. Secondly, neither one wanted to stay as a bench keeper. They wanted to start, and we could only get money for Martinez, not
Yes.
Leno, because Leno nobody wanted because he just came back from injury. Whereas Martinez was fetching us 20 million, so they said let go. Which, by the way, I didn't have an issue with. I was okay with that. But stick on Leno. Why did you have to then go get Ramsdale and then go get Raya? That was a waste of like 50 million
Raya's
almost that we
always been
spent on
his
both.
dream. He
I
should have just gone for Raya first.
Yeah, but that's unnecessary. I guarantee you, if we had Leno the last 3 years, nothing changes. We still challenge for the league. We still do all of that. Like,
Ash, I'm gonna be real. I feel like that small period where we played Martinez when Leno was injured was better than what we've seen from Leno in an Arsenal shirt. So on that basis, I would have just
probably.
kept Martinez personally, but I understand that they are loyal to specific players that have been decent in the past. So
No, I genuinely think it's the money. I think if Leno was going to be sold for 20 million, they probably would have sold Leno, but Leno was getting nothing for them at the time.
yeah.
But anyway, speaking of the big one, I'm going to start just so we can actually get to that topic.
Yeah.
I think PSG do end up edging this. I like what Inzaghi has done. I think he's done an amazing job.
Again.
I don't know how he'll approach the final.
Again.
Yeah, again.
He just
again,
jinxed it.
again, again,
We are winning, bro.
again.
I'm just kidding.
Again. I think look, I think the way Inter Milan played against Barcelona, I feel PSG team would punish them a bit more, not just in attack. Attack, actually, I think Barcelona are equivalent, if not better. I just don't think PSG give them that much space defensively every single time. Plus, one thing Inter Milan did really well, which Barcelona screwed up in, is they didn't have pace to defend the counterattacks in the back four.
But you rate Barca better than PSG, Ash.
I do 100%. I thought Barca would have won the whole thing.
So
But
how come,
I also think, and I've said it and you guys didn't accept it in the beginning, but I still believe it. I think Inter Milan got slightly lucky because the reality is
scoring
Barcelona.
7 goals is not lucky, man.
Yeah, but the reality is the first goal they scored of those 7 was a back heel, very good goal, well set up. It was a back heel. The second one was an overhead kick by Dumfries. Dumfries and T knows him because he's probably watched him in the Dutch in Netherlands and obviously for the national team and in the league. He isn't. He's a decent fullback, but he's not the best.
I mean,
and
he had credit to the manager. Dumfries had 4 GA in these 2 legs, bro.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's slight element. Like for me, that when Barca were leading 3-2, that fact that Acerbi, of all people, a 47-year-old Acerbi, he's not really 47, but you know what I mean, ended up getting into that position and scoring. I think he's 37 or 38, if I'm not wrong.
I'm gonna double check.
But I just think PSG probably will give them a slightly more difficult time defensively. I don't think people understand how good Mendes and Hakimi are when it comes to running back, defending, and just covering space. Not even defending one-on-one, but just covering space. But look, honestly, it's a 50-50. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably say I think PSG might finally get over the line.
Is it because Qatar Airways are sponsoring the UCL?
What?
Are they? Wallah, I didn't even know that. I swear I didn't even know that. I swear to God.
They are actually. They are. Qatar is airways
Wallah, I didn't
sponsor
even know
anyway.
that.
I can't lie. They actually are. So who knows?
But
Bro?
I'll say
I
this.
can't
though, if
lie.
Inter Milan,
I think
sorry, Tar, I'll just end with this. If Inter Milan play a low block the way they did it against Bayern, I'd probably edge it towards Inter. I just don't think they will do that, though. I'm not sure.
for me, I think that Inter are gonna win. I think they've got the more of the experience. They've got the experienced players in the competition, the experienced players that can win this competition. Do you know what I mean? And on top of that, I just think that their game, the way they're able to just stop and disrupt that football that you play, whether it's good football or not, is brilliant. Obviously, there's going to be times where you're going to get dangers. You're going to get players causing a ruckus in the box, i.e., Kvaratskhelia or Dembele or Desiree Doué. Do you know what I mean? But I just think if you look at the team, firstly, we're going to have Lautaro Martinez and Thuram are going to be fit. Do you know what I mean? They're probably going to rest them for a couple of games and get them back to full fitness. And those, by the way, in that game, in that second leg, bro, Lautaro Martinez and Thuram were barely fit. By the way, they couldn't even run towards the end of the game, bro. They couldn't even run. They weren't even fit. I think you're going to get a fitter Inter Milan. You're going to get a better Inter Milan. And there's a reason why these guys have been so good in competition. They don't leak many goals. When they have in this Barcelona game, they have matched it up with more goals as well. They've matched it up with the scoring. They've been able to stay in that game, and the manager's been able to get the best out of them while counteracting the manager that's on the other side. I think that's very important, bro. Inzaghi has been able to tactically be able to outclass managers. I mean, Hansi Flick, I don't know what the hell he was doing in that game, but bro, this is going to be two very good managers, and it's going to be very interesting to see. But I do think that Inzaghi will get the not necessarily the rub of the green, but I think he'll do better than him and get the win and get the Champions League to win them their fourth.
Guys, don't forget Enrique is playing for a treble. Wait,
yeah,
did they win the?
Yeah, he is a treble. Yeah,
yeah.
He's
playing for a treble.
I don't know if they won. I don't know if they played for the Coupe de France. Yeah, but
yeah. I think they're in the finals.
They've got the league. No, they're in the finals, but I don't know if they've played it yet. But they've got the league.
No, they haven't.
I don't know if they've played it yet, but they're gonna play that and probably win it, and they're gonna go for the Champions League, try and win that treble, bro. If they win that treble, bro, that's, do you know what I mean? That's legend status, bro. In PSG.
Bro, 24th May they played a final against Rem, and then 1 week later they played a final against Inter Milan. Bro, if they win both and they do, Enrique becomes the second manager to do a second treble. Damn.
I mean,
damn, uncomfortable conversation.
Let's be real, yeah. Luis Enrique, very, very inspirational character. You know what I'm saying? Very inspirational manager, but also as a person, after especially what he has gone through, to be this strong and to still go out and do what you love in this level, bro. It's just nothing short of inspirational, and I have nothing but love for those kinds of people, and I wish him all the luck in the future. But there is something in front of him that's also having his own story. Yeah, Inzaghi losing the Champions League against Manchester City to now this being his second final. I think he is here to make something right. You know what I'm saying? And he has been coaching his socks off in these last few rounds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know that we don't understand why he didn't go.
I'll be right back, yeah.
Yeah. I know at the beginning we said we don't understand why they went all out of attack like that and gave Barca the space. But maybe that's a way to get his team to score more goals. So imagine if they defend all of the time like they do normally, and Barca with their quality of attack gets those 2-3 goals anyway. Now you don't have the attack to counter. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he just he prevented this. You know what I'm saying? Instead of fixing it, and that's the biggest thing.
T and Sami, I have a very, very interesting question for you two. Oh my god, I just realized. T and Sami, if PSG win the finals, so Inter Milan lose the finals, and Napoli most likely are going to win the Serie A, it means Inzaghi, who was going for a treble, would have bottled all 3 competitions in the space of less than
He
a
already
month.
bottled the cup.
Yeah, correct. So he bottled the cup,
Mm.
that too against Milan, that he should be slapping up. Bottled the league when they had a comfortable lead, and everyone who
Still.
watches this, look, I don't watch
3
Serie
games
A
to go.
religiously.
Still 3
Yeah,
games to go.
but they're 3 points behind, and even if they equal the points, by the way, they don't go top. It goes to this thing. Sorry, one second, guys. My food is here. Yes, hello, boss. Okay, thank you.
Is it
Sorry,
delayed?
my food. Yeah, my food is out. I'll be back. I have a very good question.
Okay. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is, Enrique inspirational, but Inzaghi's story is also pretty sick in my opinion, because I still stand on the point that this guy brought scrubs to the final. This guy won the league with scrubs in his team. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Just
Agreed, man.
because Inter don't have any money to go out and spend proper
Yes.
proper players. You know what I'm saying? That's
Mhm.
why I stand with the point. If he joins a team like Arsenal, for example, who actually spends money but didn't spend the money in the right areas under Arteta, I feel like maybe he can actually go out and play his perfect football instead of his 80. Because I don't think we are seeing Inzaghi in full force yet, purely because of the fact that he still is playing scrubs like Mkhitaryan, Darmian, and Acerbi. You know what I'm saying? These guys are not good players, bro. These guys are washed up rejects from United, Arsenal, etc. Acerbi, 37 years old, left Lazio. You know what I'm saying? Had his prime at Lazio, and now is finishing his career at Inter. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
At the end of
Okay,
the
so
day,
then
for me, I feel like a coach like that he's on a mission, bro, and I feel like he's gonna look at Enrique and gonna out tactic him as well. I genuinely think so.
Yeah. So then my question to you, T, and Sami as well, is if he loses the final of the Champions League, which could happen because it's a 50-50 game, and he loses the Serie A, which is also quite probable, Napoli are 3 points ahead, he obviously then would have been a bottle job for this season only, not bottle job in his career, obviously, but a bottle job for this season. Would you guys still hold him in that high regards if he bottled a treble and lost every single competition in 1 month? Because that's a big hit. We're not saying he won like 2 out of 3. We're saying he won 0 out of 3, and 2 of them he was hot favorites for. Not like hot favorites for. And by the way, even the Champions League final, I think PSG will win, but I believe if I ask 100 football people who will win the finals, majority will pick Inter Milan just because of they beat Barcelona.
No, they won the league last year, Ashraf. Come on.
Exactly. This is what I'm gonna say. This is
This is not
debunking all
Arteta.
Yeah,
everything.
guys.
This is not Arteta, who went to the semifinals a limited amount of times and only scored 2 goals in the semifinals. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. We are not the same, bro. That guy
At
is
all.
way better than
No,
what
guys,
we
it's
have
not
right
the same.
now.
I know he has some credit in the bank, but bottling 3 trophies, where 2 of them are your hot favorites for, in the space of 1 month, is massive. No one thinks Michael Ballack is a failure of a footballer, but it'll never go away that they were going for a treble and they lost all 3 in the space of 1 month. They were top of Bundesliga, bottled it in the end. They were in the DFB Pokal. I don't know if you remember that. They were in the Pokal final. They lost that as well, and they lost the final to Real Madrid in the Champions League.
Yeah.
He went from almost winning a treble to winning 0, and people never let that go because he also ended up losing the World Cup final. He ended up losing the Euro final and all that kind of stuff.
Ashraf, as a Mönchengladbach enjoyer, yeah, you've watched your fair share of Bundesliga. Am I right?
Yes, of course.
How many times did Klopp bottle the league and the Champions League, and then went to Liverpool and won them the Champions League and the league?
No, he won it back to back in his first 2 seasons.
He won it back to back, but he also bottled the Champions League. Yeah, he also bottled the league a few times where he had a bigger chance. You know what I'm saying?
No, he didn't.
Well. Klopp.
No, T.
Listen. Did he bottle the
That's
Champions League
not
or not?
true.
Did he bottle the Champions League or not?
No, he didn't, because he went up against a much better team. I don't think Inter Milan are going up against a much better team. They're going against a team that's their level. I agree. And by the way, I don't think losing the Champions League is a bottle job. But I think losing the Champions League final and bottling it in the league and the Coppa Italia all at the same time. That's what I'm calling a bottle job, not the Champions League final alone.
But that's just one season. Klopp bottled Champions League like a few times, bro. You know what I'm saying?
No, he didn't. He bottled it. Okay, with Dortmund, he lost the final. Yes.
I'm not talking about Liverpool, by the way.
That was one time.
You are derailing from the question now.
That was one time. He lost that one final only, and they were not even favorites. The favorites were Bayern, and Bayern ended up winning as expected. That's not a bottle job. Yeah, and he won back-to-back Bundesliga titles with them, and the first one was very close. The second one, he won it by a landslide, and he slapped up Bayern Munich 5-2 in the Pokal final. They won the double that season. That's not a bottle job.
Back to your question, Ash. You're saying Inzaghi is a flip-flop or Butler this season. That's fine, but he.
This season, yeah.
This season, you're saying he's a flop or he's bad, but I don't see it that way.
If
because
this happens, only if the scenario. Happens.
In the scenario that he doesn't win, he's trophyless this season. That's fine, but he has 2 Scudetto, he has 2 Coppa Italia, he has 2 Super Cups. I mean, there's a lot of credit for him to have one season off.
Yeah, this one season won't change that. Yes, exactly.
Guys, this is not an off season. This is a disastrous season. If he
it is emotionally, emotionally, you're in the final and you lose. Of course, it's gonna be devastating for any club.
No, not just emotionally, because let's say if I'm making my choice and I'm hiring, let's assume I was the owner of Arsenal. Inshallah, ya Rab. I would sack Arteta before I even land there.
At least he's there, Ash. At least he's there. At least he's there. You know.
No, but it's not the same Sammy. Because Tammy, if I ask
Man said, by the time I land, I want the vacant position for the manager for me.
Yeah, you better be gone. Yeah. No, but Sammy, I'm saying, let's say you're Arsenal owner, or T, you're Arsenal owner, right?
Okay.
Obviously we all agree the first thing we do before we land there is sack Arteta. Fine. Arteta's gone.
I would sell my club to the Saudi Arabia. But anyway. I'm just kidding.
Make that money while you got it, bro. Make that money. That's fair. That's fair. So
I'll make some calls.
Let's say we would sack Arteta, and now we need to hire a replacement, right? Because now we got the power. Let's say we can get Inzaghi, because let's be honest, if we offer him good salary, he'll come. Let's say we can get Simeone. Let's say we can get Xavi Hernandez. Let's say we can get. I don't think Luis Enrique is attainable, so forget him. And let's say we can get, I don't know, Nagelsmann, whoever people want to talk about, whoever is available, Zidane, whoever.
A good coach. Okay.
A good coach.
Okay.
For me, this season, if my scenario happens with Inzaghi, I would immediately put Inzaghi down the list then. Because I'm like, this Arsenal team already has shown frailties when it comes to getting it over the line. Imagine this manager who just bottled 3 competitions, 2 of them where he was favorites. The third one, okay, fair enough. But 2 of them he was hot favorites for. I would probably think, obviously he's not a bad manager, 100% he's not.
What about Ancelotti?
I told you guys about Ancelotti ages ago. I would never hire Ancelotti for Arsenal.
Why?
Because he's bottled it with Napoli, which is similar to Arsenal. When he took over, they were progressing.
How many Champions League did he win?
But he cannot do that with Arsenal. He can only do that.
Don't do that.
AC Milan,
do not
and Real
brush
Madrid.
that.
That's it.
No, don't brush that. How many Champions League does he have?
75,000. How does that matter? You cannot do it with Arsenal.
Damn. So he cannot win us one, but he has 75,000, bro?
Guys. Ancelotti, when he's gone to the best of the best, where he doesn't choose the players get given to him.
And how many leagues did he win?
Very few. Actually, he's bottled it.
96,000.
He's got very few. He's got single digit. Imagine the guy's been managing for 30, 40 years. He's only got single-digit league titles. Anyways, my point with Ancelotti is, when Ancelotti manages Milan and Real Madrid, where he's given the top of the top players, because he's a fantastic coach, he can take those world-class, best-in-the-world players and get them to do what they're supposed to do. I agree. When he goes to a Napoli, to an Arsenal, to a Dortmund, to a I don't know, Marseille, what other team is in that caliber? Let's say United now, I don't know, because they're obviously in the dumps. He's a bottle job. He took Napoli, who, by the way, before he joined, had 91 points in the league. Every single season, they were getting closer and closer and closer to Juventus. Sarri then got an offer from Chelsea that he couldn't refuse. Said, you know what? Damn, I'm going to go to Chelsea because Abramovich wants me. They're like, you know what? We'll get Ancelotti, who's probably even better. They finished 12 points behind Juve. they got even worse. And the season after, they sacked him mid-season because he got even worse again. He's proven he cannot do it with these kind of teams.
Ash, I'm starting questioning your football takes. You know.
Man said, "Damn, I'm going to Chelsea."
Yeah, he did.
Bro,
Sami,
they
you
trust me.
say question football takes, but Sami, I think what you're missing is you don't like to put context into things. You think Real Madrid and peak AC Milan and Arsenal are the same. We're not the same, brother. I know we all love our club. Let's humble ourselves. We're a tier 2 club. We're not a tier 1 club. The reality is Ancelotti, unlike Pep, unlike Klopp, unlike Mourinho, unlike Fergie, unlike maybe even Wenger back in his peak, he cannot go to a tier 2 club and get them to win because he hasn't done it.
Look,
He's failed when he got the chance.
I
Why
cannot
are you
believe that
ignoring
you
that?
call us a tier 2 club, bro. Because
that's the thing. Yes,
United.
that's-
What
yes,
tier club was United when Fergie joined them?
They were tier 2. That's why I named Fergie in
No,
the
they
list.
were tier 3, bro. Not even tier 2. They were
Or
tier
3, yeah, whichever, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if they were tier 3, by the way. They were not tier 3. They were tier 2.
And the fact that they went out and had ambition and actually do what is needed to do to be that tier 1 club. Chelsea, you can maybe say the same, even though they don't have double-digit Champions Leagues. They do have some pretty
Yeah.
much a lot of European trophies. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we can do that. We just don't do that, and I think
agree.
that's a club issue, and I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? I just don't.
No,
I want to be tier 1.
We're on the same page. I think we should aim to be
No,
Real
I'm
Madrid.
not on
Man
the same
City right
page
now.
of you, Ash. I'm gonna give an example. If you're gonna hire a CFO,
Oh,
What
get
are,
the
what are you,
CTO,
what are you
thing.
doing?
Uh,
What are you
CFO
doing?
Bro, it's fake AI shit.
so if you're gonna hire a CFO or a CTO or a CEO, you know, you're gonna get
Yeah.
somebody with experience, right? You're gonna look at the CV. You're gonna sit there
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, this guy, he was managing X company, Y company. This is his
Agreed.
achievements. Da 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 da. All right, I think he's
Agreed.
suitable for the job. We're gonna have an interview with him.
Nope.
Let's hire him.
Nope. That's not the
What do
only
you
thing you look at. If I have 2 candidates, the one guy who only
Okay.
managed to succeed, who only managed to succeed when given $100 million marketing budget, right? And another guy who took these 3-4 companies with only $1 million marketing budget and made them super successful. But when this other guy was put in the same situation, he failed. That means I would hire the other guy because I cannot afford to give $100 million marketing budget to the CEO, CTO, or
Why?
whoever you
Why?
mentioned.
What about this?
Why?
What about this, Ashraf? What about this? Yeah, we outspent Real
Because we're
Madrid
tier
in the
2.
last.
There
how
you
many
go.
years?
Thank you. We're not a poor.
And-
We're not a poor club.
Guys,
Apart from that, I'm gonna give you another example.
Yes.
FSG is also known for not being ambitious at all. They bring in the right people and they let them do their things. Michael Edwards and the other nerds, quote unquote, you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
They brought
Correct.
in Klopp, they brought in Slot, you know what I'm saying? They saw
Yeah.
Brendan Rodgers was not working. Let's bring in Klopp. And Michael Edwards, smart guy, he thought, you know what? Let's sell Coutinho and invest his money to Van Dijk and other players like that.
And
You know what I'm saying?
Alisson. Yeah.
But that's the biggest issue. I feel like if you have the right people, you don't need to have like this, oh, we are not a tier 1 club mentality. You can just go out and actually be tier 1 if you want, because Liverpool, even despite their owners, are doing this and are the biggest club in England for a reason, bro. You know what I'm saying?
For a reason, exactly, T, because they got Klopp. Because Klopp can work with players who are not world class. Ancelotti has never ever succeeded with a team where he didn't have world class. When I say world class, I don't mean
you know
world class
what?
like Saka.
You know what? If you
I
look
mean
at it
world class
like
meaning
that-
the best in the world, the best ever.
If you look at it like that, I agree. Yes, I don't think we should
Yeah.
hire Ancelotti if you want young up and coming players like Luis Enrique is dealing with, for example. Those kinds of
Yeah.
players you only give to Luis Enrique, who has the Barca style of play ingrained in his mind, who actually improves young players. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, Ancelotti is not the right guy for that. I agree. But if you have a ready-made team now, Ancelotti
Exactly.
is not a bad shout to go out and actually win a Champions League. And I agree with that with Sammy. You know what I'm saying? He's
But
not a bad
guys,
shout to do that.
why has how come he took over a ready-made team in Napoli that was getting better and better and better, finished with 91 points and finished second with Sarri's last season? How come he took that team that was ready to challenge? And we all know De Laurentiis of Napoli is the worst owner to negotiate with. He doesn't let his stars go easy, right? So he was able to keep his stars. How come he bottled it with them and got worse? And the season after got even worse and regressed. By the way, I'm agreeing with you. I want us to aim for being a tier 1 club. But right now we're a tier 2 club. So for us to be a tier 1 club, we need a manager who can work with a tier 2 club to come and take us to a tier 1 level. Ancelotti is not that. He's never been that. That's why he bottles leagues, because he doesn't know how to manage the leagues throughout. He's a good tactical coach, I agree. In a cup competition, he knows how to put tactics here and there to do things. But even then, he's only done it with world-class players. The Champions Leagues you guys are talking about, he won them when he had Kaká, Pirlo, Seedorf, what do you call Inzaghi? It's not Inzaghi. Yeah, Inzaghi, the other Inzaghi, Crespo, and all these other guys. Shevchenko. And the other Champions Leagues he won with Real Madrid.
Well, he won with Chelsea. He won with Chelsea.
Yes, a ready-made team. I agree. But we don't have a ready. We don't have. He had Drogba, Lampard, who everyone says one of the best.
But they were not. They were not winning. No, they were not winning in 2009, 2008, 2007. They were not winning.
Yes, they were. 2004. First of all, 2004 and 5. Sorry, 5 and 6. They won back-to-back leagues because majority of the players are the same.
And then 3 years drought. Right.
1 second. 5 and 6. They won back-to-back leagues. 2007 they won the FA Cup. 2008 they reached a Champions League final and lost on penalties, which, by the way, Ancelotti, sorry, not Ancelotti. If it wasn't for a Terry slip, they would have won it because that was the last penalty Chelsea needed to win. And then a year later, he won the double with them, right? And the season after, they bottled it and lost the league and went and got knocked out.
We all agree on one thing. We should not aim for Ancelotti. We should still aim for the, you know what I'm saying, the fresh blood, like the Inzaghis, you know what I'm saying, like those
yes,
kinds of guys
exactly.
still.
I agree with that.
Because
I agree with that.
There comes a point, because we've talked about this. I said Capello is an example. When his football didn't work, he just quit. You know what I'm saying? There comes a point where Ancelotti's football.
That's a good example.
He is coming to that age where his tactics are just getting old, bro. Everyone found him out. You know what I'm saying? He goes to Brazil, has one more last ride, and then he's gonna retire. I think. I think that's exactly what's gonna happen, bro. So yeah. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Guys, honestly, I don't like dissing a club, and I'm not even trying to diss a club, but when you manage a team like Real Madrid and you get slapped up by Arsenal 5-1, that is kind of telling me you're slowly getting to the end. And he was never, as a league manager, he was never even that great, but look, big up to him, one of the greatest managers to ever coach, but it doesn't work for our team. If you tell me Ancelotti could go to Man City, assuming Man City, obviously, like Rodri's back and all that stuff, I'd say maybe. But like a team like Arsenal, we require someone who's a tactical genius, like league-wise, cup-wise, can work with players who are not world-class as well. Like Klopp, like Pep, again, I've mentioned them. Enrique, T has mentioned them. Inzaghi as well. These kind of guys. Simeone, fair enough. But Ancelotti is just not it.
And people who say we cannot buy Inzaghi, he's on a contract. That's just the biggest copium I've ever heard in my life, bro.
BS.
Literally copium.
BS. Bro,
I'll actually go for.
And he's going to Real Madrid.
I'll actually go for Nagelsmann, but that's probably a
also good
conversation for another day.
Sure,
but he's a bottler, guys. Well, I don't want to go for another bottle jobs, please.
Anyway,
I don't want to go for bottle jobs.
Let's just.
He lost. He was losing the league to Dortmund. He was losing the league to Dortmund, and then another bottle job came, took over mid-season when they sacked Nagelsmann in Tuchel, who also was about to bottle the league to Dortmund, but lucky for Bayern Munich, Dortmund turned out to be a bigger bottle job when they just needed to win the last game of the season, at home, by the way, to Mainz, I think, and they drew 2-2. And Musiala went and saved them and won the game for Bayern, and they won the league. He bottled a Bundesliga. Do you know what that means? With Bayern. Do you know how embarrassing that is? And then he took over Germany and bottled that as well. He bottled German's national team when they played, was it the World Cup or the Euros? I can't even remember. Why do you guys want bottle jobs? Give me someone.
When he played Harvard's left back, was it that time, bro?
No, that was that was Hansi Flick, no? Who played him as left back?
Nagelsmann played him
as left back. Nagelsmann. Yeah, fair enough. There you go.
But you know what, Saad? I still agree with you. I like Nagelsmann. I think he would do great with this team.
Yeah, man. Anyway, listen, big up to everybody who has tuned in. Big up to AMT, big up to Aaron, big up to Aaron and AMT, of course, for the super chat. Absolute legends. Thank you very much for doing for contributing to the channel with your super chats. Big up to the boys, big up to Sammy, big up to Ash, big up to T, of course, for joining me today on this stream. And yeah, listen, we're gonna pass you over to.
Before
I'm
we
gonna
do
pass
that,
you
Wait,
guys over
before you
to.
end it,
Spurs and
just one
United.
quick question.
Spurs and United.
Spurs
Who do you
United.
think?
Who do you guys
Yes.
think will win? I
Spurs.
say
Oh.
I want Spurs to win, but
Oh.
I think United will win.
I don't want Spurs to win, but I think they will win.
I think it's gonna be United.
I want United to win, but I think Spurs will win.
I think I'm static. I cannot answer that question. I think I'm losing the connection, guys.
There we go. He lost the connection.
I'm gonna do the Hamza and answer 10 minutes later when you ask me something. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Hussam, what did you say?
What did you say, bro?
Hussam,
Huh?
my laptop is it's
frozen.
lagging. It's frozen. My laptop's frozen. Bro, I swear, Hamza's the funniest guy ever. I swear.
Yeah, and I think Spurs are gonna win it because they slapped up United this season, and I feel like they're gonna slap them up once again. You know what I'm saying? I genuinely think that will be the case.
Long season, man. Long summer.
Mhm.
Sorry, long summer, man. So let me a long ass summer, man. But listen, a big up to everybody who has tuned in. Like I said, passing you over to Trench Talks. Make sure to go over there and subscribe. Make sure to go over there and spam Sard Raid. Yeah, spam Sard Raid so they know that we sent you. Yeah, Gal
This is
Bata
so
have
true,
the
by the way.
hardest summer in his life. Yeah, he's still backing
suffer.
Arteta. Brother, he's doubling down. Igal's doubling down. I don't think that's the right way to go.
No.
Man, but
He's not only doubling down; he's tripling down. Because I remember him saying one time, "If he does the same next season, I still won't have him sacked. If he does the same the season after that, I still won't want him sacked." You know what I'm saying? I swear.
I'll
he
be
said
real.
something like that.
I've seen. I listen. Igal. As soon as I saw Igal do the XG talk, I was like, yeah, this guy's stripped to the bare bones, man. He's trying to grab for anything that. Do you know what I mean? That might be able to.
He's in the same boat of Souls, I think.
Well, Souls is just sick in the head, so we know that for a fact, bro. Okay.
both of
Well,
them-
if you guys see what Souls puts in the group chat, sometimes it's weird. It's actually bad, bro. The guy's sick in the head. Do you know what I mean? But he's our brother, so we love him, bro. But
At least he
I mean,
criticized.
One time,
I will
randomly
say-
said, "Trust in Arteta, guys. He's the guy, guys." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Bro, what are you saying?"
It's mad. I will say though, the argument that happened in the group in the group chat, the other group chat, I actually agree with Saad and Souls. Anyone who's saying sell Odegaard, I think you're just like skunked in the head. Like one off season and sell him. Like I understand saying bench him,
Yes.
sell him, bro. People are crazy. People are
Yeah, bench
crazy.
him.
Like it's just emotional. Sell him like it's mad.
But those are the same people, and I understand where they're coming from in a way because they want to rebuild like a lot of this team, bro. They want a lot of players. bro, not
Why?
only Odegaard.
Our team is not bad. Our team is good. We just need, if we get a striker, a left winger, let's say Zubimendi's coming in, and we get a new manager, I think we can win the league or the Champions League next season.
I think we need
don't
to
need
get.
to
I
change
think
the
we
whole
need to
team.
get. I think we need to get Nathan into this. I need to get Nathan on because I need to. I might get him on one of these, even though he's not Moroccan.
Nathan Butler Oyadeji?
No, no. Brother, he ain't seen the pitch. He ain't seen in the Koora pod. Hold that. I'm joking. But anyway, no. But I need to get. I need to get
Technically, he
Nathan
did
on,
come
man,
off the bench
because
against Ipswich.
yeah, once wallah, skin wallah.
You know-
Anyway,
you know what's funny, Ashraf? He still won't get a medal if we won something. You know what I'm saying? It was that
Yeah.
little of time, bro.
but
To be
I
honest,
need.
even the ones who played 5,000 minutes still are not getting any medal because we're not winning. shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Same boat.
I need to. If I said the ones that played 5,000 minutes for us. But listen, I you know what? Yeah, I do want to see. I do need to get Nathan on the thing because I do want to have like a. I want to have a debate with him because he was obviously, while everybody else was trolling in the group chat and going crazy and just saying Erdegaard's a bum and all of this and all of that, he actually put up some valid points. Which, listen, it'll be a good debate because he was speaking about Erdegaard. He in the final third. You know what I mean? He's just not more of a 10. He's more of an 8. He's working deeper in the pitch and stuff like that. And obviously saying that he just wants him replaced with somebody more attacking and more natural 10, which I can understand some sort of. To some sort of a degree,
but that was Odegaard last 2 seasons.
But the thing is, Erdegaard for me, we just need to see what happens next season, bro. Because this season was clearly a write-off. And listen, I believe he's gonna go back to those levels, bro.
And I agree. I don't think we should sell him because I think there's still a value in there, even though you have him as a bench option. He still doesn't earn as much as some other players. You know what I'm saying? So he still would have value in this squad at the end of the day. I feel like he should get downgraded though. I feel like he's shown me a lot with his character that he's just not the guy that just leads us on the pitch and leads us by example. And I agree. And you know, Ashraf, Saad, you say we have agenda and we say shit and blah blah blah. But I gave you actually valid points on why I don't like Odegaard this season and why I think he should be downgraded from the captaincy. And I stand on it. I feel like even if he has a good season next season, he still should be downgraded as a captain. Leading by example is not enough. I need a full-on leader to be my captain. It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying?
For me, I think if we receive an offer between 60 and 80 mil, we should sell.
Wow.
Because
what the hell?
While he's still
I'm so glad that Ash is on the same page as me, bro. They looked at me like I was crazy. They looked at me like I was crazy when I said that I wouldn't take 80 million for him. I think he's.
I would.
If you didn't have that opinion, last season when he was killing it, it's great. That means you having this opinion now is just a knee-jerk emotional reaction. That's it.
That's across a season reaction, not a one-game reaction, Ash.
It is emotional because some players can have off seasons, right? That's what I'm saying. If you had that opinion last season as well, okay, fair enough. Maybe he's just not the kind of player you like. But if up until the end of last season, if you ranked him as a top quality midfielder, and now you're saying you want him sold,
since the end of last season, the trajectory for him in terms of performance is dipping.
No. This season, last season he was amazing. You're talking about
the
this
end.
Season, right?
I'm talking about the last season, the end of it, from like I would say April, March, April onward. Odegaard starting, to dip. No, he wasn't.
He was scoring and assisting. What do you mean? He was fantastic in those last 10 games. Against Spurs, he was amazing. Against United, when we beat them 1-0, he was fantastic.
Relax. It's not Ronaldinho. It's not Zidane. Okay, relax. It was not that amazing.
No. You guys relax.
Yeah, guys, we were sitting here saying it's Erdegaard and Saka carrying us through the whole games,
and we're calling him world class. I agree.
I put Rice in there.
He's been garbage this season. There's no question. But to talk about his last 2 seasons is mad. Last 2 seasons, he was performing at a world class level. We were on spaces and with rivals who just want to mock and laugh. Chelsea fans were saying they would take him over Musiala. I know that sounds laughable now, but that's how good he was performing the last 2 seasons. Why are we changing the narratives? That's mad.
No, I'm not saying shit.
Not you. I know.
Because he's not performing. Simple as
I agree. That's why I said
he is earning now 280,000 right per week, which is one of the highest in the club, right? Something like that, 280 or something like that. Anyways, and you're our captain, and you giving me this performance in a season? Nah, man.
Yeah, I agree, but that's why I'm saying I agree with benching him.
I love
to say sell him, bro.
Sammy's the best.
Sell him literally. So if Saka has a bad season next year, let's say the whole season he's really bad, are we gonna say sell him? Guys, we have to allow players to have.
No, but Saka has done more for us than Odegaard. Be real.
In the last 2 seasons, I don't think he has. I think last 2 seasons they have been equal.
4 season he was doing very good. Saka.
Odegaard wasn't there for seasons, right? Come on.
I know. I'm just saying.
Saka won us a trophy. Odegaard didn't.
Exactly.
He didn't. Saka didn't win us a trophy. He didn't
Wait,
even
who's
start
won
that
us
game.
a
He was a very good left back. Okay, don't be disingenuous.
Yes.
No,
yes.
no,
He
stop
was
it.
playing-
He wasn't even starting those games.
He
I
was
think
our left back, bro. Number 77. Don't forget. You know,
No, he
He
wasn't.
was coming.
No, he
It was
wasn't.
coming off the bench. He was coming off the bench.
He didn't start
hey,
that game.
hey,
Yeah.
chill. Okay, chill. It was Saka and Bill Smith, bro, before Odegaard came here. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget about
Yes,
that.
but he wasn't. He didn't win us the trophy. He wasn't even a starter that game. He wasn't even a starter the whole
Odegaard-
season. Go watch.
By the way, I just want to let you guys know that in the season where we said, "Oh my God, Jesus and Zinchenko transformed us," exactly
They
the
did?
same.
They-
Odegaard was also one of those players that transformed us, bro. Because
Mhm.
he just went to a next level, and people sit there and were taking the piss and were like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you guys compared him to De Bruyne." Bro, he was having a De Bruyne-esque season, bro. This guy was scoring
Exactly.
goal after goal after goal, assist after assist after assist. He was going
Ah,
nuts.
Which midfielder holds the record for most Premier League goals in a season, non-penalty goals? Odegaard. He had 15
My
goals
guy.
that season.
Number 8
Right?
at Arsenal, bro.
God.
And the season
Here we
after,
go with
guy,
these accolades no
and the
one cares
season
about.
after, no, and the
Bro,
season after,
non-penalty goals for a midfielder, bro.
Yeah.
Come on,
and
man.
the season after, he did 8 goals and 8 assists in the league. And overall, including Champions League, he had more GA. He had like, I think 20,
11
20
and
GA,
11.
something like that. Something, yeah, 11. It was like more than 20.
22. It was 22. I know that because people tell me, "Oh, look how his GA dropped." No, it didn't, bro. His GA did not drop.
Okay, Saad, chill.
Ridiculous.
It did.
It didn't.
Oh wait, are you talking about last year or this year?
No,
Last year, his GA
never
didn't
mind. I
drop.
thought you meant this year because this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. This year's a
That's why
Throwaway.
guys, we're holding him to that standard. If he's performing in that level that you're saying, oh, 2-digit GA, 15 and plus goals, non-penalties. So I agree with you. I'm not saying he was bad past 2-3 seasons. This is why I'm giving him the most of the stick, because I'm holding you to this standard or this
Yes.
bar, and now you're performing in this bar. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
I agree.
Imagine
But we
Saka
didn't
having a
disagree,
season
though.
like this, bro. You know, I don't see that happening. I don't see Saka having a bad season in this way, bro. Even though this guy had a worse injury than Odegaard, he came back even better and has provided us more in that short time than Odegaard did. You know?
Exactly.
But the
He
thing
and-
is, either
Sami,
it
we
has to be.
We don't disagree. Saad and I don't disagree with you. In fact, T, agrees
Why?
with us.
Because he had a kid. Is that what you're gonna say?
No, guys. We're
No,
saying
no.
we don't disagree. We don't disagree with you guys that he's been poor. We agree. Let's criticize him. We even agree. Let's bench him. I don't agree with the captaincy thing, but I can hear it. I'm just disagreeing with Sami when he says sell him. I think that's mad.
Certain value. No. Complete it with a certain value. Not less
Even
than 8.
for 100 million, I wouldn't sell him because
Man,
if I can
fuck
get
off,
Odegaard,
man.
because if I can get Odegaard from the last 2 seasons, I don't need anyone better. If I can get Odegaard from the last 2 seasons, I don't need anyone better.
As a Bundesliga enthusiast, Mönchengladbach watcher yourself, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't sell him for 100 and get Wirtz if you had the chance, bro. Mr.
Tell him.
Bundesliga.
Tell him.
The difference is, T, and I don't know if you didn't read
You
the
would.
news today.
You would.
Wirtz has
Just- it's-
confirmed with Bayern Munich.
You can keep some
He's
change.
agreed with Bayern Munich. He's agreed with Bayern Munich, so it's gone. The
Okay,
one
but-
guy I would
okay,
take
okay,
over him
okay.
is gone. He's gone
No,
off the
but
market.
you agree though, and the funny thing is they would be around the same price. That's the funny part. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah, but T,
And the fact that you
T,
won't
he's
sell
one
him
of-
for 100 is crazy, low key, wallah.
Yes.
I wouldn't unless we can get someone like Wirtz who's not available, or Pedri. But again, Pedri's also not available. So what are we on? Like I'm saying I wouldn't sell him for 100 million even, unless I know that this is who he is now. He's not going to improve. But I don't think that's the case.
with 100 mil and 300k per week, you cannot get a player better than Odegaard. Is that what you're telling me?
Name him. Yeah, name him. Since we like to play this game, right? Name the player I can get.
No, I'm just asking you in general. You think
No,
Odegaard is the best
I don't
number 10
think-
in the world?
I don't think we can get. No, I don't think we can get a player better than Odegaard of the last 2 seasons. If outside Wirtz, who's gone.
No,
now.
we're not talking about last. We're talking about now, current situation. Now,
No,
this
because
summer,
the difference
a
between
club
you
comes
and
to you,
no,
there you
no,
go,
no, no.
100
The
mil.
difference between me and you, Sami, the
Mm.
difference between me and you, Sami, is you think this season's Odegaard is Odegaard for life. That's who he's gonna be. He's never gonna improve. I think.
But you never know.
The difference between me and you.
How
No,
can
but
you
that's the
guarantee
thing,
me?
that's-
How can you guarantee me he's going to come back to Odegaard last 2 seasons? How can you guarantee?
I
that?
cannot, and you cannot
Okay.
guarantee he's gonna be shit again
He's
next
not
season.
gonna make babies
So-
this time.
So he could continue being bad next season, or he could go back to the form of the last 2 seasons. I'm willing to bank on him going back to the form of the last 2 seasons. And if he has another bad season, I will not bet anymore. I'll say 2 bad seasons, you're out for me. And I said, by the way, start of the season when we were arguing about Jesus, I said the same thing about Gabriel Jesus. I said the same thing about Martinelli. You have 2 consecutive bad seasons. That's no longer form.
For me,
That's
sell
who
them.
you are now.
Sell them all. Sell Gabriel. Sell Martinelli. You need to sell them.
Okay,
Yeah,
Wait,
but
which
we have-
Gabriel?
we have-
Wait,
have
which
a name,
Gabriel?
Ashraf.
Which Gabriel?
Jesus.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Odegaard hasn't had 2 bad seasons, and there's no player out available right now in the market, right, who's better than the Odegaard of the last 2 seasons. No one, none, 0.
Oh.
Unless you guys have a name, tell me. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing someone.
Okay. I have a few names, but I don't think I
Name
will.
them.
I don't want to drag this show for forever, so I think we'll leave it
Yeah.
at this, and we need to return
Let's
to this
keep it to a
conversation.
next
Yes.
episode topic.
I feel like
Mhm.
we've said what we said about Ødegaard. I feel like our opinion is now known about Ødegaard. I feel like this is a topic that we just need to hang up, put it in the closet, and then return next season if Ødegaard continues his bad
Yeah.
form. You know what I'm saying? I feel
Um,
like that's the way to go about this.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
100%.
And by the way, Ashraf, Morgan Rogers,
Morgan Rogers, what?
Oh my god.
would you take him?
What,
No.
over Ødegaard?
Oh
I'm-
my
no,
god.
no. I'm just okay. Let me name a few just to see where you're
I
at.
think
Yeah?
Gibson White man, is better this season.
Okay.
Yeah. name
This
them.
season?
Paqueta?
This season, yes.
Paqueta?
Yeah.
I'm not taking
No.
Paqueta, and I'm not
No.
taking
Okay.
Morgan Gibbs White.
You not all of them. Listen, I didn't say Morgan Gibbs White. Listen, I said Morgan.
No.
Rogers.
Oh, Morgan Rogers. Sorry,
He
Morgan
didn't.
Rogers. Sorry.
Morgan
Morgan Rogers. I'm not taking him. Yeah.
No, I'm saying no to both.
Okay.
Who else?
Xavi Simons.
You know, I thought about him, but no, I wouldn't because I just don't think he's consistent enough. No.
Okay.
Wait, is
yeah,
this
he is
is
young.
replacing
He
Odegaard?
is
Is this
young.
replacing
so
Odegaard?
you never know.
Yeah, it's just I just want to see where their head is at with how good Ødegaard is. You know what I'm saying, compared to the players that are actually available.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not naming Musiala. I'm not naming Wirtz.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
naming. I'm
Yeah.
not naming Olmo. I'm not naming
Musiala,
Palmer.
okay, that's a good
You know what I'm
shout.
saying?
Oh, and
Right.
T, just to confirm, just to give you the answer, I'm thinking of Odegaard from the last 2 seasons. This Odegaard of this season, I would replace him with my grandmother. That's different. So continue.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. No, but no. I think I know where you stand.
Your
I think
grandma,
you,
man.
no. I think I genuinely think you think Ødegaard is the top 3, top 5 best cams in the world right now. Am I wrong?
Not right now.
No,
Based
not
on the
right
last 2
now.
seasons.
Overall.
Yeah. When he's
Overall.
in form, yes. I think yes. When he's in form, I think he's top 5 cams in the world.
We'll see. Inshallah.
Listen. Big up to you guys. Big up to everybody.
But if he sucks next season,
went
I'll be the
on
first
for
one to say
another-
get him out.
we-
Just like Martinelli. Martinelli
You'll
was my
not get a
favorite
value
player, by
for
the
him.
way.
This is the thing. You'll not
Last
get value
season,
for him.
I said Martinelli was my favorite Arsenal player, right? And I'm saying get him out of the club. So I don't have that kind of loyalty to football. So I don't care. Like I don't like I move on. Van Persie hurt me so bad that I've never got attached to footballers again at Arsenal. Like you come, you go. That's it. Van Persie was the killer for me.
Okay, last one.
fair enough. There you are.
Arda Güler. There you are.
There you are. There you are. Listen,
Say Brahim
guys.
Diaz, man. What's wrong with you?
I'll be so real. Listen,
I like
all we know
Güler.
is that
Same.
T was wrong about one thing that me and him spoke about personally. Yeah, he was wrong about one thing though. He was wrong about me. I said to him, "Oh, it's not confirmed. It's not a guarantee that this guy gets a title shot. It's not a guarantee that he gets a title shot." Who was right in the end, bro? Who was right in the end?
Oh, what happened?
Guess what, mate? Guess
What
what, mate? It's not happening, mate.
What is
Listen,
not happening, bro? What do you mean?
if Bilal Muhammad
What are you
wins
talking
this
about?
weekend, if Bilal Muhammad wins
Oh.
this weekend, yeah,
Yeah, he's fighting
then
Islam.
guess. No. If Bilal Muhammad wins this weekend, then Islam is gonna fight him, yeah. But
Okay.
if Bilal Muhammad loses, bro, this guy's fighting Charles, and Islam is moving up. And listen, man, don't let Bilal Muhammad lose, yeah, and then don't let Islam Makhachev go up, because then we won't see nothing, bro. And I'll tell you, you know what I mean? He ain't gonna get that title.
So you
ain't gonna
you don't think Islam will fight to Poirier? That's not gonna happen.
Sorry,
So you don't think Islam is?
I don't know
gonna
why
fight
I'm going like
Poirier?
this.
So Islam is not fighting to Poirier. That's not happening in your opinion, because I think it makes
It all
too much
depends on what
sense.
happens.
It makes too much sense to not do it. It's
The
literally
fact-
the fight to make right now.
So the fact, here's the thing, the fact that
You didn't do the predictions, Saad. I forgot.
Yeah. By the way, you didn't end the stream. You're just talking while the stream is still going.
yeah, that's fine. Big up to everybody. They can listen to this.
I thought you thought you.
Why
ended
you get no, I didn't want to end this, bro. But listen, I will actually end it because I need to pass you guys over to Trench Talks. Go over to Trench Talks, say Saad raid, and just spam that shit. Big up, people. Thank you, Aaron and AMT, for the super chats. Legends. Peace.
it.
Peace, guys.